world. So
one better, you could say. Hunden, hello. Can you hear us?
Hello. Yeah,
Wonderful.
I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. Now, I don't want to keep you too long because you've got some coaching to do and not too long for a very important match. So lots of very important questions I want to throw at you. First one, out of the gate, is how are you finding the transition? I mean, you've just moved from being a player and one that's been seen as, you know, one of the very best at scouting and building young talents, and now you've moved to a role which seems that will become more of a focus.
I actually love to do all the preparation. I never had time to do that as a player as much as I can do now. So in general, I love this position, and I really like to prepare for the games and watch a lot of demos. So I love this job, and it's way better than I expected already from the beginning, I guess.
okay, well, you kind of just answered the next question I was going to follow up with. So I'm scrambling for one right now, mate. But in terms of the realms of being online and getting to take over the coaching role, how hands-on have you been? Like, let's be honest. Are you doing a lot of the calling for Cadian and co mid-round, or are you letting them run their own ship?
I think it depends on how close the games is, and if the younger players starts to be quiet or something, then I start to do a lot of mid-round calls and help Casper a lot. But in general, I try to keep it with the LAN environment that I don't talk that much. But in general, I try to do some calls sometimes if I can see the round is falling apart.
No, fantastic. And we're looking forward to seeing your boys play. Is there any name in particular? We've got all 5 of them on our screens right now. Is there a player that you tell everyone at home to keep an eye on? Because Testis has really impressed us.
Yeah, I think today it will be a Stown show, and Stown will wreck Blameearth apart, and he will show who the best player is on the server.
Oh, I love it. Hunden just giving us some fuel for our fire. We've got to let you go, bro. You can get into that server so we can get this party started. Thank you, Hunden.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers. Awesome stuff. Yeah, we're going to watch through some highlights, but some info there.
Oh,
wants to lay down the law on Blame.
I kind of want him to win in the sense of, it's not my prediction, but I kind of want him to win so I can ask him more questions about the coaching, because I wanted to dig in, but they're not really pre-game questions. They're more post-game questions.
You don't want to get too into it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, so let's talk about Mad Lions. Hang on a second. He's got that whole thing to do, hasn't he?
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Very a lot on the mind.
I think we probably should make some smart choices there, Chad, but why don't you start getting us ready for this one and start talking maps? Because I just watched or rather looked at their recent match. It was actually not too long ago, in August, about, what, 12 days ago, DreamHack Summer. I'm seeing a best-of-3 victory for Heroic in an Overpass and Mirage.
Yeah, and look, we got the band coming up on screen here. Heroic moving away from Dust 2. That makes a lot of sense. Well, maybe we're cheating. Maybe we're just giving you a little bit of leg, ladies and gentlemen. But the ban actually, it should be Dust 2 from Heroic, right? That's a very skill-based map, one that you want to take away from complexity if you can. And then as we start to filter in the picks, look, both teams have history on almost all of the maps here. So I'm not quite sure what ban. Okay, there we go. They've given it for us. It'll be Train going out for that. So that means Inferno's open. Maybe Heroic want to pick into Inferno because the last 4 games for complexity on that map, they've actually lost. So that could be a punish right here. And that means that complexity will get to start on that CT side. Now, Nuke is an interesting one because complexity have done some really fantastic counter-stratting on that map before and beat some much better teams, at least historically on it. And here, if they want to go for a pick, it's a very good map for Heroic too. We saw just some of their antics the other day.
Very cool.
Yep.
So it will be Nuke here from complexity, which is leaving us in a strange spot. I don't think Heroic will want to go to Vertigo from what we've seen recently. And that's going to leave us the choice between Overpass and Mirage. Okay. Mirage is probably a more, I want to say scrimmy, let's say skill-based map. So complexity might feel more comfortable on a map like that and they can't get pushed around the map as much. So Overpass ban will be coming out and it will be Mirage as the third and final. So the Inferno feels like a bit of a punish, obviously, because of those 4 losses in a row for complexity there.
There's a world where this could be a 2-0 as well. Like the Nuke result that we saw posted by Heroic, it was a 16-7 against G2. And we spoke to Nexer afterwards saying they just did their homework. They anti-stratted us and they got that blistering T start. And so we've got anti-stratting evidence for Heroic and we've got Blame seen as one of the most prominent anti-strat driven in-game leaders in the game currently.
Bit of a workhorse, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So we have got a very interesting one where both teams are going to have had their strat book analyzed and we're heading into a quarterfinal.
Yeah, and right now, I want to lean towards complexity just based on the individuals on the team here. When you compare the two, the household names are on the left-hand side, but they're newer household names, right? Config and Rush are the ones that you probably remember from the generations gone by. Rush, obviously, the major winner over there with Cloud9. Config back in the fame when he was duoed up in North with Magus, who's now over there there to Australis. But Poison on the AWP, second highest rated player so far in the European side of things. And Blame, like I'm saying, he is a workhorse, right? This is an in-game leader who knows he's a fragger and can put himself in positions to do so. And I didn't even mention Obo right now. Little Obo, little baby Obo. You got to look at this kid. He is another one of those little robotic aim stars. So when you match them up on the other side of things, you know how we're talking about Stown and Borup, those little youngsters? Well, Obo's one of those as well. He's a blunt object. They call it, when he's running on in-Lauren, they say get schlattered, right? That's his last name. Not anything untoward. There's nothing naughty there. But that's what we've seen from this Complexity lineup. And aggression, it used to be the name of the game. Alex was basically hitting the nail on the head. They have become a team who not only can be aggressive, go for the fights, have fantastic strategies, but they also know the counter strat and how important it is with Keita, bit of British representation behind them as the coach. I wanted to get that one in for everybody.
Thank you. Yes, we do have the anti-strat driving force that is Keita, and he's been getting a lot of praise from the back rooms. You know, it's hard to see and give the credit where it's due.
Yeah, I think looking at this, if what you're saying holds true, right, that both these teams will have looked into each other, they have a good idea, especially with Inferno coming in. I do still think, kind of long story, pound for pound, I do look at Complexity as being slightly elevated.
I'm with you.
And I'm saying that actually quite tentatively. But there's a world, there's a danger, there's a threat, because these young players, if they don't feel that fear, if they don't fall any, foul to anything, again, yes, they are playing at home, but playoffs carry a weight to it. There is a little bit of extra on the line here.
I will agree with you and say you're bang on, in my opinion, Complexity coming into this as the favourites if. I don't care. I don't care what Blame's doing. I don't care as long as he's feeling good. And I don't really care about whatever the other one is. I've forgotten his name, but it's Poison, Obo, and Config that I really care. Rush. Yeah, he can do it. He can do everyone.
Well, he's observing right now at the same time.
Yeah, he's doing both. This is impressive. But if those three show up, I think this is going to be a bloody brilliant game. On one side, you've got the plucky Danish underdogs, and on the other, it's none other than the juggernaut Complexity. Jason Lake wasn't memeing. They're in the quarters. Holding that number 3 spot next to their name, this star of the Dallas Cowboys has certainly started to ascend, and well, no better place, no better platform to continue to rise to the very top of Counter-Strike Global Offensive than doing so in the server tonight. It's quarters, baby, and Heroic going up against them. Let's see how First Blood is drawn.
What?
Charging down. This is fun, actually. We see a lot of CT sides go for this, Lauren. It stops the T's from being able to set up and blow you up. But losing your jewels can get awkward. Blame clean into another on ult mid.
I love that second mid pressure, though, from the T's. It's a really nice response, and Nico taking it further away from them. Leaves the CTs in a weird spot. Rush kind of isolated. He does have Config on the way, but in a good position to punish this play coming in through from Boiler Room. But pause for thought here from the T's. They slow down the pace, try and bring themselves back together, but the CTs are in the right place right now. And I say right now because they're off.
Yeah, Complexity have given up the chessboard here, allowing Heroic to rotate back around the map. Both Config and Rush planted over towards the A site. This will allow a free plant to come in, and because Complexity went for an aggressive CT-sided pistol early, that meant that they had 5 sets of armor. So there'll be no kit for this retake. It's just going to be the headshots. The fact that Nico's picked up a USP, he might posture himself quite aggressively. You can see he's set up in the new box position. So as they come in to retake this site, swinging with that USP, popping their heads is going to be important. And Borup to swing up close and personal with that Glock.
I'm hating how long it's taken us to get back into the round. They've rotated in from 2 optimal angles. Nico, if his jiggle is spotted, that's a lot of the time saved. Sound cute. And Config will go out of the server with the first bullet from Nico. Rush is still checking emo. Nico can dance around the box. This is Heroic's round and a sterling start to Nico. We heard Hunden pointing his finger towards Stown, but in the previous interview we had, the first name out of many that have played against Heroic is that of Nico, having those unorthodox plays that can get under your skin. This is not so unorthodox, but certainly starting something special.
Yeah, just quickly on the Heroic side of things, this team, you look at it and nobody is really a standout name. Stown is the one that in the past we would have spoken about as a star of Heroic, and he even got to play with Blame F back in a Heroic roster not that long ago. But we've seen Tessus doing mad things. We've seen Borup with some fantastic aim. Everybody on this team is serviceable, and that's what's great about Heroic. They have Hunden behind them coaching, calling the shots, helping them with the fundamentals, and while the Force by coming out with the tag from Poison there onto Stown,
there's no loose cannon on this team.
No.
And there's part and parcel of that actually does benefit you. If you're getting enough out of your consistency, Heroic could prove to be a real problem for that top 10. Here they go. Testis will strafe out. Air strafing, trying to draw the crosshairs. Nico's AK is a priority target, and good patience from Obo. You see, he didn't rush that. Didn't get overwhelmed, and he continues to try and chip away, but it's Borup into the A site. They've got access. They've got a plant, and only Blame and Config, Smokes and Deegs. Tough decision to be made here. It looks like Config's made it already. He's bouncing around towards Speedway. Maybe going to try and take one of those rifles on the exit. Let's not forget, 2 of them low enough that they can't save in that pit corner, I don't think, Chad. Actually, it's a far plant. Can you do the maths? Can you crunch the numbers? Carry the 1?
They might be all right.
Yeah?
I don't know the exact damage from every single
Why not?
planet. Well, look, Alex, I watch it. I don't have my spreadsheets with me today. I've left them at home.
So Config would love this. He's just going to try and hold W at the end and maybe, just maybe, take a head off. But, of course, he's got Kevlar and Deagles to preserve. It looks like Borup believes he can. Should be fine. Blame was hoping to land 1 Deagle bullet to take Cadian down with the radius, but they will escape. Config sticking around, and maybe he wants to try and find a low HP AK.
Oh.
Gave it a good go. All right, calm down. 2-0. Complexity will have to eco.
They have 2 smokes left over here, which still makes them deadly. And I think Complexity have set the tone for how they want to approach things against Heroic just from that pistol round. Quite aggressive in their face. If you don't allow Heroic to have the setups with the strategies and play out their mid rounds, and you just force them into individual duels and multi-kill battles, that's where Complexity really should have their number, right? We've seen an interview with BlameF with HLTV.org where he talks about fitting all of this skill within one team. Well, Rush is the man who has to pick up all of the slack. He has to be that completely supportive element. Not only that, on the comms, he's keeping everybody calm. He's the most experienced member on the team.
So a pop flash once they have or lose banana control, or if Blame wants to swing, it actually looks deeper. So yeah, perhaps this is just to set up the peak from Blame. And they're pre-fires immediately. So you can see Heroic crosshairs are in the right spot. Nade does
Not bad.
off it from the confirmed info.
Yeah, pretty decent. Love to have seen maybe a little bit more damage off that Deagle, but you can see the intention in mind. I like these kind of little set plays in motion, see if they can maybe just, I don't want to say cheese away, but garner something. And it looks like a switch up in position, completely evacuating the B-bomb site, heading right back around towards A, kind of leaning into this pretty hefty stack here. Now, on the other side, of course, the T's still maintaining banana control, not really falling off this just yet.
Something for us to remember as well, and this is an interesting stat, so do pay attention despite the eco. It's that the European Cologne stats, this is exclusively to the European competition. Cologne are #1 in 4v5 conversions, and I'll tell you the number, it's closing in on 50%.
Wow.
It's 46, Chad.
That's nuts.
50% of the time, with an early disadvantage, Col have won the round over the course of Cologne. That's nuts. And that's a statement of what their individuals are capable of, as well as their communication. So bear that one in mind once we get into the weapon rounds. And that's a great find from SEO. So big shout out to him. Heroic, in contrast, if you were interested, are at 36. So a full 10% discrepancy in that 4v5 conversion.
Substantial, isn't it? And here comes the play back up. Banana, Nico, head on, going to pad the stats a bit and kind of get himself feeling the game nice and early too. And he's had a really good start. If this echoes throughout the game, what a brilliant beginning for him. As I said, we were looking at kind of Tessa, Stown, these sort of names. But yeah, as I said, if Nico's feeling it, excellent stuff. The rest of the CT's still lingering around the bottom of T mid.
I just want to remind everybody, as we see the last few members of Complexity get minced away here, Nico with yet another one, that the other day against G2 on Mirage, Heroic, they were in the driver's seat for that map. They should have potentially closed it. It should have been them getting into the playoffs with a high seed as one of the first 4 teams. However, that was not to be the case. They had to battle back through the lower bracket. Now, we do talk about youngsters, nerves, all of that coming into play, and it could be a factor with this team. You heard from Hunden in the pre-game interview mentioning that, look, he might have to jump in if things go a little bit awry.
I mean, we see that falling foul of even pretty established teams. There's so many that kind of fumbled on the close. Plenty of coaches having to come in. But a big round now. We do have the guns up, Poison there with the orb, something you, Alex, were hyping up. But a boatload of utility just got thrown up Banana as well. So the CT's forced away slightly, going to be humbled towards the site for now. And Poison with an instant lean there.
Yeah, they are basically giving them banana control. You can see Cadian happy to take it with a very aggressive stance here. Early flash, not going to draw out any smokes, and I say that Blame's not got one. What's the situation on config? Okay, so they've truly, at this early juncture of the round, already only got one smoke on the B side. That could be problematic. Testis with some contact and some presence towards brackets. They'll be taking mid control. So at the moment, this couldn't be better start for Heroic, right, Chad? They got both parts of the map.
Yeah, exactly. There's no information for the CT side right now. As Obo pushes forward, it looks like they might go for a mid-wall retake here, just to force Heroic around the map and having to respect the potential aggression. Keep your eyes on Borup. He's in an important position right now to make sure that the CTs can't push any more forward, but it looks like it will be a B set piece with 45 seconds now left on the clock. That rotation from Poison has gone back over towards the A site.
They commit on this?
Stound's chomping at the bit for it, isn't he?
Config's going to smoke. I mean, do they want to go gray screens? They're going to have 15 seconds. They might have to flash through this, Lauren. This is it.
This is all they've got left, and BlameF is loving it. Gray screen in, he's going to get one. Calls to config for support, but Nico on the excellent trade back in. B-site is theirs. Poison couldn't stop it in time, and even with just 20 seconds on the board, the bomb planted and the post begins. But look at Borup holding this for so long. Does he outdo Rush? Yes, he does. And suddenly the CTs feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was their shining armor really there. It was going to be that flank, that banana presence. Suddenly, Coffins isn't safe. Suddenly, you can't get caught out, and I'm afraid that's enough. The frag from Borup confirms the round Heroic. Agree of a punish pick. Let's not forget this was their map pick in this series. And you can see, I think it was 3 times Complexity have lost this in a row, Chad. That was the punish?
4. Their last 4. They've lost the last 4 in a row right here for Complexity. So Inferno, a weakness that Heroic are clearly looking to target here. Now, with that rotation early from Poison, that's either a tell or a read that Blames wanted to go with right there of what they've watched and scouted in the demos, thinking that maybe they would go for a B hit a little bit quicker than that. But as we saw, they really strung it out. But what I like here is how tight they're playing. The fact that Borup gets that first kill, he doesn't hang around for more. He doesn't even go for the flank. He goes for the smart play, rotating back over to where his teammates are on that B bomb site, for just in case they go down. So making sure they're not giving anything up here, and that's what you want to do. Keep it as tight and tidy as you can. And fantastic trade work here. So even though Config and Blame both opened up with one, we speak about how difficult it can be to retake the bomb sites on a map like this.
You got a Vuvuzela. Who has a Vuvuzela at home? You're mad. But I respect it. To our 5th round, and it is some real sacrifices. Just that 2K mark plus the saves.
Still looks super dangerous, considering
it?
It is just a half buy. And Poison opening up over there towards Banana onto Katie, and that's a big find.
And that's probably going to deter them and compel them to push into the stack. There's way more where that came from. Borup could get caught with nades in his hands, and he does. That was what they were banking on. It's Obo to fill the feed. 2 on 2, flubbed nade and flanked as well. Nico finds his 9th frag here in the 5th round of play. Poison, let's see if you can show everybody at home what you are capable of. Stage is set, ahead of the smoke. Nico's waiting, and that's Heroic to find their 5 consecutive rounds out of the gate, and Nico's found 10. 200 ADR to start off this map.
Notice how they're not letting the game get messy at all. The pissed around, messy, right? It was very messy, but they were, getting up. We need these, is that orange juice? Vitamin C, it's very important. You got to get them in, yeah? But these trades right here on top mid, even though Obo is able to get 2, the poise of these individuals, you're seeing the aim right now is we are 5-0 up. The full guns will come out once again. Config on the Famous. There are kits in play, so Kit Watch is looking good to kick off the playoffs. This is quick. Never mind, are they canning?
Ooh. They are taking banana control, though. And that nade from Poison looks set for success. 150 damage thereabouts inflicted. With a nice little top spin. Granata. Floor of Molotovs. The CTs have completely cleared up Banana, so they can start stacking towards A if they desire, because that's where Heroic are coming.
This pace ain't stopping either, Alex. This is going to be really quick, really snappy. All that damage from the nade shown in the success of the kills coming in so swiftly, but now the molly burns and the T's are kind of left in a bad spot here.
Yeah, now it looks good for Rush. He will eventually go down, but Katie's got no one alongside him. Poison's playing on the box, playing with the line of sight, and he will find a second. So he drew blood to start it off, and Complexity start their Inferno off after 2 frags from Poison. Obo down to 4.3. Looks like everyone's set for some success there. Config's dropped the FAMAS, so everyone's going to have enough to frag. Start building a bank on that CT side.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange that I thought the Heroic were going to go faster when I saw all 4 second members through the mid, potentially using their banana player to call if it is that stack and then isolating the 2 A defenders. They took too long on that rotation. Obo was able to get a double kill off of it. I think they might slow this one down yet again. If you can isolate Complexity, take away the utility, that's where they can find the advantage.
Considering the pace we saw up mid then and a couple of little kind of pace changes here and there, they have to be a little bit forthcoming with the utility on complexity. They can't just sit back and wait. It has been quite consistent, but Stound's made a little bit of progress up towards the top of Banana, and he can kind of relay that information as they start the grind of their util to force away any of these close-up angles. And as that top Banana is cleared out, they have the info that, well, the map control is leaning towards us here.
Yeah, so boosting config up, Obo with the only smoke. If there is any more contact Banana, Obo will be dropping his smoke and rotating config as the solo player. So action on A. Bomb's on his way towards B, so you can see Heroic's plan starting to manifest.
Another color by numbers round. Take Banana control. They haven't taken top mid control, but they've feigned that they are. This boost over the top here from Blame is big. That information for the CTs mean they don't have to rotate or get a little bit skittish over towards B. They can keep 2 players on that side of the map. And Cadian, he's isolated with the bomb by himself, but now as he makes his way back towards middle, this one is looking like an A hit. 2 smokes to work with, 1 flash, a Molotov, and a nade.
So Tessa's going to smoke long side. That's Cadian's job, it seems. The conversation happening live in front of us. And 2 to receive. It's going to be Blame and Rush.
And Poison feels a mile away, just about coming back round towards maybe Library, back of CT Arch. And this time is running solo. That's a massive kill, though, from Rush. Holding down from Pit, denies presence, but they've broken through on CT Arch.
Has to be Nico down. Nico has to start planting, but he can't when his teammates are dead. He needs a frag and a plant in 3 seconds. It's just pre-fire. It's wild. He hasn't got time, and that is the round. So close, yet so far. Complexity will take themselves the final frag as well. Nico goes down. And that's a fantastic way to really twist the knife into Heroic's T side. They're going to run away with this now, at least close that gap. 3.4k, it's just not enough to splash. It was Rush's double. You're bang on, Lauren. Taking down the AWPer and the bomb with so little time on the clock. Blame, admittedly, just waiting for that smoke. He knew this pincer was coming. Oh, very well played by the CT side, and that's going to put a smile on Complexity in-game leader's face.
In back-to-back rounds here, it's been multi-kills to kick it off for Complexity. Rush from the pit, and then previously Obo towards that arch side. If they're not trading 1 for 1, this is where the individual prowess of Complexity can really shine, and now that they get to go up against pistols, this should be their bread and butter. Players without too many frags right now are going to be hungry to get a couple on the board here and get their stats padded just a little bit. As Config goes for a reconnaissance mission down Banana, hearing that deagle, that'll be relayed across to the team, and he even thinks better of it. Don't need to go close, don't need to give away a free rifle. Play this one safe, play it smart.
Oh, again, this pace from the team. Oh! Tessus, you're obscene! And now Nico's in on it. It's a 4v3. And, well, the one bonus is, look at where they're heading, Alex.
This is cool. Look at Config. He smoked off Banana. That's not going to help you, bro. Because here they come. It's not even a Glock train, the Deagle train. Looking to pull into the station. Config's in trouble, trying to conduct some business, and Borup's done it for him. Beheads him. Heroic. The Danes and their bunny-hopping pistols. It's happened again. It's Heroic to pull it off. Cadian bounding around the corner, pulling the crosshairs. And now a real chance. I don't know if Rush is going to be able to do anything more than a HE. They don't want to lose an AWP on this retake.
Oh, look at the money. They have to save.
Screwed. Heroic have done it.
That's ridiculous. That all started with Tessus, the man of the moment in their previous series, absolutely hammering home that kill. That, oh, dear.
So who was that? Was that Blame? I think he was dealing with it initially.
Blame came rotated back from B. He's the player who died in front of Speedway. So it would have been
Obo.
Yeah, because Config was the B defender. So it's not often you see Obo getting smashed out of the server in that regard. Important for Complexity to hold on to these right here. Because once again, we can see that the money situation will allow them to go for a partial buy behind that. See, look at the sign of the back. Eat, sleep, frag, repeat.
Play,
I didn't make it up. Does it say play?
Oh, it's an MF.
Okay.
Is that iced tea? Oh, I'm not
A lot of sugar in iced tea. He's drinking apple juice and iced tea. Goodness me, Borup. You got to watch your sugar intake.
You don't want him to dip down, eh?
Yeah, he's going to have a sugar dip in map 3.
Oh, at this point, it might be over in 2 if they keep this sort of work.
Oh, I like what you did
so
there.
nice. I love this. I've got to say it, and, you know, again, this is early days. I don't want to get too excited, but it feels like Heroic are very prepared. They have not just a game plan, it's a mission in mind, and the execution so far has been excellent. The double nades poison almost instantly nullified, and Tessus, they're reading him like a book.
Yeah, ages 3 and up. This is about Biff and Chip. Spot the dog, his big red ball. My goodness, they got that one on lock, and they're down. Finding some more. Blame's going to catch the nade. He does escape. But they've got no armor, they've got no hope, and this will be Heroic's 7th. You're right about the save call. Poison losing his AWP. Perfect time to be throwing out those stack nades. They know that the AWP has to be one of the front-facing fraggers, right? He has to go and make the early advantage to peek that CT side up. So stack they don't even going to let them save anything. Does put an M4 for Blame to recover. Whether or not he gets away. Oh, no. Okay.
How does that work for him?
I don't know. His scroll wheel's different to ours, and now Borup wraps it all up. So there is 7, but I really enjoyed that one, just seeing how clean it can be. Perfectly backing up your point as well, Lauren. Let's see. Complexity have lost 10 rounds per map at this event so far. So on average, we're seeing that 10-round mark for Complexity in defeat.
I think the map veto, as Chad was kind of bringing up, Inferno is would you say it's a target pick?
I just think with those losses, I think with those losses, it could be a target because 4 in a row, that means there's clearly a problem going on there, right? And Complexity are the type of team who, when they have issues, they would be trying to fix them. And this is a map where the individual firepower, sure, it's great, sure, it's going to help you, but you can isolate the sites. And you're seeing this early. When they want to hit B and the gamble stacks coming in from Complexity, they're gambling incorrectly, right? They've had 3 players over towards that B site when A hits have come on in. They've had players caught in transition several times. So if you're not sitting ready to make the kills like we saw from Obo on the arch side and rush over towards Pit, the rounds, they're not coming their way. And this is 7 very quick on the board from Heroic here. The guns are back out once again. AWP in the hands of Poison. Let's see if they can change the pace here, Complexity.
3 towards Apps. Config riding that deep smoke into Banana, so they do deny a lot of info early for the T's. They will not be able to take that Banana control, and in response, Banana's clear. Apps is suspicious. Rush, you wouldn't go further than this, would you? He's thinking about it. That corner's going to be pre-fired. He's going to get 1.5. That could be enough. Obo, he just has to tap away at the heads of 2 bombs. Spotted down to trade in, and he's struggling. 3v2, bomb to be recovered, and only 1 cowering on the side, but it's Poison with his signature weapon. Look at the movement. You can see how he's completely evaded the scope. Down. Got a lot to do here, but plenty of time to do it. So he'll start to build into the clutch. Flame's not interested in letting him escape. So Heroic fall. 3 for Cole.
Whose molly was that in Apps? Was it the T's to clear? I'm actually not sure. I think it was, right?
I think it came from Obo.
Right. Because that was I love the way he pushed back into it. Like the timing, he just slotted in. But yeah, that was quite fun to watch. But the thing I was going to kind of try and talk about here, it's almost counterintuitive. Cole just got back on the board. But I think something you said at the start, Chad, is quite resonating, is that Complexity like to be a little bit more aggressive. They wanted to get in their faces, bring it into a realm where it favors them. It's hard to when you're down, but we are seeing Rush leading by example. But, well, Config's just lost his head. Borup! Unreal precision. And now the advantage swings to the T's, but it's instantly brought back by Poison.
Oh, he's found a gap. Does Obo know he's passed? Nico can take the site. This sound cue's going to cause the flank here, and, well, dealt with.
You were bang on, though, Chad. That was a huge gap. It may be enough to keep them all rotated to A, and, well, Cadian's on his way with Stown to try and get that bomb down. They've got a full smoke exec, and please, no, don't overthink this.
But look at this. They're all rotating. Everybody's left the A site. Cadian might be able to get away with a free plant on A here.
I mean, yeah, certainly. Stown's calling it clear. If he could somehow sell this, we could be on for some 4D chess maneuver. Well,
gap in the smoke.
There we go.
That gap's been there twice now. That gap, they threw it when they did the B hit. Nico spotted it as he jumped across, and once again, the gap's there. So whoever's throwing that spawn smoke, they've missed it twice within this game.
That time it was coming from Cadian's hands. Now, well, maybe he can try and find some redemption. AWP walking into the first fight. Obo, he only had the FAMAS. That favors Cadian. Doesn't want to overthink now. He has the advantage. He knows he's going to summon the remaining 2 just by planting that bomb. Patience is also a virtue. He knows the line has to be adopted at some point. It's going to be a question of timing here, Lauren. 30 seconds, bomb on his back, and a Molotov.
I love this pausing. I know it's dangerous, and you don't want to overthink, but the pause brings doubt. Now there is none. Poison and Blame have to try and play it back in. 2 smokes, no kit, so there is a bit of a incentive of time in here, but Blame F wrapping, going round towards quad.
After everything Borup did in this round, Cadian has a chance to convert that sensational double on the mid-aggression, but they're going to peak at the same time. He can't pull the trigger on 2 targets. He's getting shot at in the booty. Ooh. It's Blame F. Find his first, but it was Poison that really does pull that round back under Complexity control. Double kill. Tessa's peeking up second middle, gives them the equalizer, and the rest, well, just good team play and mid-round comms. Puts 4 on the board. Cole needed that. Let's see Borup's double. This was very, very good example of the kind of aim you can expect. Adjusts his crosshair, crouches up, takes another, and this was Poison quickly pulling things back under control.
This is the gap we're talking about. Yes, it's a big gap.
It's a huge one.
I noticed it before when they did that B hit, but they dealt with Blame and they dealt with config on the site quite easily. But they need to know that that's a problem. So that smoke from Cadian, if he throws it a little bit higher, it's going to bounce off the top of the wall, and hopefully that should cover it on off. But that's a very basic pedestrian mistake being made here. It could come back to haunt Heroic.
A round could look different.
They have gone for the force spy right here. They've put all their pennies in. It's down on that UMP. A little for Bow up. The rest of the AKs. Flashes are good on both sides.
I'm always so tempted to chase those sort of kills, and I know it's exactly what the CTs would want, and Heroic showing so much presence of mind to just keep it slow, keep it calm. They can't waste utility here. Everything is precious to them. And God, if they do hit B, pray that smoke lands properly.
Obo's going to rotate. They just cleared top mid, so they might have a third defender on the B bomb site before this hit comes in. Only 2 smokes and 2 flashes to work with here.
And Blame F is the steps. Good flashes. Config's done well for the first. He's hiding on oranges, and Cadian opens us up. It's
There
Obo
he is.
trying to close it out. Into the mid-round. Bomb not to be planted. Cadian trying to take some space. Tessa's been given that responsibility. Even as a smoke, if he does a deep one for Cadian, we are cooking. Banana a threat as well. That's the smoke I was talking about. Does... Oh. Not necessarily enable him to cross the new box. And that's the dual rush needed to win. Cadian fluffs his lines. Tessa's to clutch.
Okay. We've been pumping this player up. We know what he's incredibly capable of, but Rush is watching this, and Rush is a safe pair of hands, but the timing is perfect for Tessus. And now the 1v1 Poison save Complexity, and he might have to do it again.
Oh, not the orb. Wait for the sound. It's good from Poison. 5 for the Complexity gang, and again, it's Poison that pulls them across the line. That's 2 rounds that they can thank their lucky stars that they have him on their roster. Big win for Complexity, keeping it competitive.
I understand what Tessus was going for there. A lot of people question, why didn't he just wait for the sound? Well, when he's planted at the back of the site there, Poisonous has to be swinging his head around, knowing where Tessus is, also having to find the bomb to potentially fake it out. So he's trying to find him while he's transitioning into the site. Hasn't paid off for him here. One of those situations that are a bit of a 50-50, and with the clock where it was, in hindsight, when he goes back and watches the demo, probably should have played that sound cue. But you can't question him in the moment.
Not going to question him in the moment. I just know that, especially when you're up against an AWPer, when it's a 1v1 and you have like, I know Poison's awkward as hell as soon as he has to defuse, and I win the round if he doesn't defuse.
Precisely.
Like, I'm strafing around that corner as fast as I can, knife out, pooping myself.
These are the moments that we're talking about that might get the better of some of these players on the Heroic side of things. None of these individuals are hugely experienced. You could say Nico, he has probably quite a chunk, playing in a lot of different teams. Cadian the same, over to North America and back. And then you'd be looking towards Stown. Borup and Tessus are still the newer boys on the block at this level of Counter-Strike.
Whose timeout was that?
That was, well, it's 3 for 3, so...
It's kind of hard to work on. If you could find that, I'd be interested if Heroic called that to calm him down. Maybe just curious. But for now, it looks like the buy coming in is going to be a bit weird. We've got the Mac Daddies coming out 3. And some complementary utility off the back of it too.
Now the reason you're seeing a buy like this come out again from Heroic, because just in the previous we had that UMP and Galilian play, is they can keep this CT-sided economy still under the thumb. If they win this one, Complexity going into the tail end of the game will have nothing to work with, and Heroic might be able to run away with a couple more. That's a huge opening from Stown.
Hunden's rubbing his hands together. Stown on to Blame F. Gets this party started. Round 13, map 1, quarter-final 1.
And how much are you sweating if you're config here? No smokes, no flashes, no nothing. It's just you. It's you against potentially 4 players on the other side.
Well, he's taking some initiative, and he's taken one down with him. Now the smoke, a terribly large gap for the right side this time. Can get that bomb down, thrown across. You can see how cautious they were.
Overcompensating.
Yeah. Bomb will be down. I'm afraid for Complexity, their positions are indicative of a save. Cadian in a prime position to do some serious damage. You can give him full off-the-leash freedom here, right, with the Mac-10?
You should really go for it. The loss bonus for Complexity going into the next round is only $1,400. You take away any of these rifles right here, and you're giving yourself a chance to secure a few more rounds on this already potent T-half. And Cadian getting caught by Obo there. He will fall. The other 3 remaining members of Heroic will do their best to hold on to these AKs because their economy hasn't really flourished just yet. And Tessa's upgrading to that M4A4, the beautiful Howl.
But with 3 Mac-10s against the fully brought up CT side, they do a coordinated B hit. and take the 8. We said how this was going to screw Cole into the next following, what, 2 rounds? But with the save 3 weapons, it's not as intimidating as it could have been. This was Config's trade, which really did give them access to the site.
It does feel like that B site has been run around, if I'm honest. I feel like Rush is such a safe pair of hands towards A. He's just kind of been playing in pit, keeping presence.
I see Jason Lake in the fan cam.
I'm just going to check. I'm checking,
we appreciate
I'm checking
that.
what time it is in Dallas. One moment.
What time is he awake? Because this is quite early.
Having his morning coffee with his boys.
8:29. Jason's
Good
probably been up
morning.
since 5 a.m. You know, he's been out there. He's already gone for a run.
He's a runner.
Poison! Oh, it's a nasty way to go down. Obo's trying to claw it back.
Flash.
It's Config fully blind. Blame keeping him safe. Nades take the rifle away. Config will have to work with the MP9. My God, what a way to start it off. We're 90 seconds in and it's a 3v2. This is a bloodshed.
That was 4 individuals for Complexity towards the top of Banana to deal with Heroic's presence here. But now they're in a 2v3 situation. The A bomb site is given up. If they go through mid, that's the only port where the CTs can defend and rush. The jiggles. Jeez, that could have been real dangerous right there.
I am thoroughly enjoying what he's bringing. There's the trade. That's okay. It's kept in check. Nice work from Blame F there. But I know it's kind of hard to categorize because obviously like Obo's been popping off poison, looks kind of spicy. But Rush being that kind of backbone to that A site, that pit kills that came in, him just playing safe. As it's not flashy. Yeah. It's not going to be your, popping off here and that. But he's playing that role. But I feel so well right now.
He's got, I would argue, he's won 2 of their 6 rounds now.
He was the player who pushed the molly and apps, right?
Certainly.
He did that as well, yeah.
So that's maybe even 3.
2 kills
double
from
kill from
with
Pit,
the silenced
with the
M4.
M4. And this one right here, where that could have been a planned retake awkwardness. He saves it. Quiet on the scoreboard, yes, but contributing hugely. And with 69 ADR, he's extra cool.
Nice.
Smokes. Not quite going to get Obo the line. He was hoping for, does catch him setting up nades. He's gobbled one of his own. That's a full flash. Doesn't get fuller than that. Tessa's taking space. I love it. They're into pit, folks. We've got a weird round for the next 60 so seconds. Rush is behind enemy lines now. He doesn't really know how to deal with this. The smokes, Molotovs, and soon to be bullets.
Oh, back to the wall, quite literally. Couldn't fall away, and now, what a weird round. The map almost gets dissected in a new manner. The whole of the apartments is just flooded with T's. Overwhelmed, outgunned, outnumbered, Rush falls. The bomb is on the site now, finally, so that can go down, so at least the clock is favorable to the T's.
Oh, my God.
Config, untradeable, swings around. Stown, he's on it.
Yeah, he's set for more here as well. Off angle, Blame will be sweeping in to check sight, and oh, misses his shots. Tessa's clean on the D, Cadian the same on his Galil, and Poison too much on his plate. He just doesn't have the teeth to chew through all of these in time. Borup just waiting for the off angle. As soon as he crosses, he's gonna have to hit the most ridiculous flick. Tessa's given him a chance. That's 9-6, Heroic coming in, taking the lead on their curveball pick, and the first quarterfinal of ESL 1 Cologne continues after the break. Cathedral, but the Counter-Strike continues its quarterfinals, baby, and complexity starting on the T side of our second half of Inferno. You've got Oboe, Blame, Poison, Rush, and Config. And on the other side of things, in the blue corner, it's Heroic, who have had quite the heroic performance. 9 already posted on their attack, and in closing in on taking this curveball veto. And a bit of a punish, 0 for 4 in the last 3 months for complexity on this map, and perhaps being exploited here. It seems like GG.bet tend to agree. We're into it with myself, Sponge, and Pansy. Bomb loose, and they'll be taking their time with this one. Very stark contrast to the pistol we saw from the CTs in the first half. Charging down middle, much less bloodshed this time, Lauren.
Yeah, slow little mid piece coming up for the T's, but they're winding up to this. They're not being hyper subtle either. Blame F, Rush, the two to be able to put this into place, but look at those CTs. They are stacked up, ready to go. It looked like they were expecting a little bit more presence through apartments, but it's not going to be.
Yeah, 2 boiler, 2 abs, and it's just going to be a... Oh my goodness, it's going to be a massacre for Tessus. He tapped at 2 of them. Blame and Poison, they're just the next on the chopping block. He's got a 1v3 now. Poison, he's surely screwed. A double peek from 2 different angles. Great shots from Poison. And suddenly they're back in the game. It's down on the flank, trying to pick up the pieces. He can't quite believe it. Exasperated, taking shots, and Poison's done it. 3 frags on the Glock. It was done. It was sealed. It was supposed to be 10. Poison turns it around and turns the frags on. 3 quick kills. Let's see that again. Lovely start. Tessus getting his headshots, but Poison, he was supposed to be overwhelmed. How did that look so easy?
I didn't think that even came in, but bloody hell yeah. Have a nice day, boys. Welcome to the Big Boy League. This is nuts. Yeah, I'm sure you're just pumped up after that because you just don't expect it to come through. You just got kind of like mowed down in a weird stack there.
Yeah, that's a bit disappointing for Heroic right there. They've been looking so good, and then they've dropped one. That's the individual prowess that we've been talking about with Complexity, and it's shone through. He couldn't do it towards the tail end of the first half with the AWP on the retake, but with the Glock, he's done one better. And now Complexity on their anti-eco. They're being held at bay. The Scout, it's in play. The nade as well with a tickle of damage onto the hero of last round, Poison. But you can check this out. Look at the 4-man stack towards the top of Banana from Heroic here. They have a bunch of nades. They're waiting for this control to see if they can get a free beat. 2 nades are just poised and ready. If more Complexity players make their way up here, this could be catastrophic.
Well, that could be a signal, isn't it, Alex? This is going to be a bit of a dangerous one. Here go those nades. It's good for 1, though. They've got a bit of damage done, and they still maintain 4 players standing. They're pushing this.
Yeah, they tuck behind the half wall, though. Now Poison could just line them up. This is a good problem. Tessus, the only one with any sort of hope on this B side. He's only got 18 points of health. Rotate's come in from Stown. He'll be putting his deagle to work, but yeah. This is Complexity all over it. It certainly did have Complexity written all over it. Now with a frag from Stown, if he gets another, chips away at Poison, softens him up for Tessus, but low HP. And even lower with headshots like that. Poison securing the round. Cajun with only the Scout, no kit for that retake.
Curious if he wants to go for more damage here or just hold on to it. The fact he's probing forward, it looks like Cadian actually wants to get stuck in on this one here, and it's not going to be an easy feat whatsoever. This is not the weapon for the job. And now he maybe is just hiding in plain sight.
I mean, I guess you could truly say tunnel visioned at this point, couldn't you? Can't really do much other than this.
10-second ninja, Lauren. Here it comes.
Don't say it, Alex. Don't.
Out now, Cadian?
They had a kit.
Now?
Yeah,
imagine.
Something.
Imagine.
Oh.
He's got $400 on the nose, actually.
They're a little worried, of course. They might draw them
Bring
back.
them back. Yeah, come on back, boys. Come on back. Come check it out. You sure you don't want to hang around? You sure it's a party?
Just peek around the corner. Have a look.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are the nades there, and they did do damage, but being ahead of it, there could have been a real issue. More mist smokes towards CT spawn here. Seen a couple of those today.
Poison, like, I get it now. I get it. Like,
you on the hype train?
Well, bear in mind, I never got to see him.
Yeah.
Like, by the time I'd left,
he was on his way
come
up.
back, he was, you know, maybe a name I'd seen somewhere, but nothing to this extent. No one that I'd have put in these rosters and said, yep, there he is.
Yeah, Stunner and I actually had the pleasure. I know that's a casting duo that no one's ever heard of, but Stunner and I casted at WESG back a couple years ago. I think it was 2018.
Yeah.
And we got to see Ships and Poison as part of the roster. Now, Ships, unfortunately, on the bench over there with Contact. He hasn't been able to make anything of the name, but Poison, he's really started to shine through. And with this North America move, I guess this year they've been mainly a European team.
Yeah.
Getting to shine.
I mean, I would describe him as kind of following very much in the footsteps of Cirque, right? I mean, seeing that European import going to America and blossoming.
Finding home.
Very similar vibes there. 21 years of age, and he's from Bulgaria as well, so another potential for the Bulgarian Bulldozer title.
I do love the complexity style lineup, though. It feels like there's a lot of potential, a lot of talent that's somewhat dipped at some point, or start shining as brightly. This round should be comfy, bearing in mind we're discussing outside, because honestly the stack towards B won't get as much action as Tessus did just go down. So I do like the idea of what Complexity is doing, because I remember Config back in the day, kind of, it felt like he peaked and then he dimmed a bit, and it was like, oh, where's that Config gone? And seeing him back here is good. Rush in this being a real safe pair of hands. Poison, what a nice concept he is. Blame F and Obo, again, names that are newer to me, but my word, are they really holding water here? Now, on the playback in, if they can get anything away, that'd be quite nice.
It's been 2 years since we saw Config at a major event. I mean, like,
crazy,
I'm looking at his achievements. Yeah, the last time at a major, it was E-League Major 2018, a group stage exit. It's definitely, this is like a new rescue, a new chance, a new approach for Config, and certainly a talent that many will be excited to see continue to develop and blossom. Especially under Blame F. I think he's made no secret of the influence of having that Danish in-game leader, a bit of a life leader as well, helping him understand the role of a professional Counter-Strike player and the habits and the routines that can benefit them.
Okay. We're about to get this one underway, ladies and gentlemen. 9-9, first gun round here of the second half about to come through. A couple of bonus weapons carried across from the complexity side of things. Oh, a bit of a yawn there. It is early for Jason.
It is early. Get him a coffee.
Get him two, because this one could be a bit of a long series right here, ladies and gentlemen. Config keeping on that Mach 10. Obo dealing with any second mid pushes right now.
Bloody hell. How did Borup just receive that much damage?
Couple of nades, Lauren. Perfectly placed grenades onto his little head. Oh, okay.
Okay. So Borup and Nico working with 8 health between them. Not ideal. And certainly does soften them up for anything that Complexity planned to do here. I like the boost on the logs. Going to see over that smoke. Config does catch a nade. I love the timing. Couldn't quite find the final bullet. Maybe Tessus can finish it off. That's great. Expecting the trade, and he's taken the head off Obo. That's sensational. It's going to channel them all towards B. You can see the CT's reaction. Instantly drop that smoke.
They're going to try and send it on this one. Yeah, Config's right there. The spray from Stown is so good, though. That's going to hinder progress. Now Poison, that low HP, going to come back and haunt them. Blame F now left in the 1v4. Bear in mind, some of these players are low. They're less than a one-shot, and they're all quite close by. Stown's the big problem, and Stown denies anything from beginning. Nice little hold there from Heroic, and that was a big round. And that start looked like it was going to be Complexity, right? But right back in it, that damage somehow didn't equate to the round.
Yeah, I mean, the double push, perhaps, it's really quite inspired, because a lot of key setups start there, right? There's a lot of nades being pulled, there's a lot of waiting for enemy CT utility by the trellis, and they managed to get that double push, and you could see, again, Rush was so ready to start throwing his util. He wasn't expecting that push from Test. Is getting the second onto Obo, won them the round. So Heroic do take double digits first, but it is just a gnat swing in it. And a bit of a change of pace, it seems. We'll be seeing a lot of early presence up towards middle. Borup responsible for containing Banana.
Yeah, this util looks fast, Alex. They're not really going slow. CT, library, all there, but ahead of it is Cadian, and we still have a player towards CT Arch that could swing.
That's a bad miss. Tessus, quite the opposite, flashed in. Nico and Tessus just knock him down like Skittles, and Nico's not done. First the flash, now the frags. He's going to swing on that. Cadian supporting. A great spray from Config. My God, he's on for an ace clutch here. It would be impossible. Cadian ensures it is. And so 11 for Heroic. They extend their lead and do so quickly. Tessus, very reactionary play. the missed shot from Cadian, it was more important that he just fired a shot, draw attention his way, and then the flash timing must have been perfect. Look at this, they are full blind. That's two players who could not shoot back.
Yeah, Nico was in the pit. He's the individual who threw that flash. He didn't have to focus towards quad or halls. He was actually in the middle of pit, and that is a clutch flash right there. That was only made possible because of Nico. And Testis, he looks like the hero. He gets the two-piece feed right there. And bails Heroic out of what could have been a sticky situation, dealing with aggression right now. And, well, the man of the moment in the previous gets a little bit of damage done to himself. We'll dip on back. Banana control now in the favor of Heroic here. And looking poised on this CT side defense. Now the guns have come out.
Does feel a little dangerous still. Well, that rifle's still in play. Once that's removed, if it does get removed, that is, it does kind of instantly become quiet.
This is our setup for future, Lauren. So one of us has to be a bit brave. You have to tuck into that half
me,
wall.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's you. You're anti-flash. And I'm up on the wall. I'll be screaming and running away when they come, and you kill them all.
So I'm going to be baited.
Yeah, it's essentially, I'm the master at the bait. And you can be the student. Oboe.
Okay.
Get schlatted. Is that what they say?
That's what they say.
I like that one.
I've heard that yelled a few times.
Nice shot from Cadian as well. This could get problematic if Blame does go down. Maybe not. They're wrapping around longside. Nico's responsibility. He will have a cursory glance and get more than he bargained for. Oboe left alone, though. And a great shot, my God. A 1v2, and it's certainly achievable. He's been given time to plant here. No armor, Lauren. If he gets hit, aim punch ruins this clutch.
As he there was a world where I got excited by that. Honestly, those shots were just filth from him, though. Like, the man's just tapping away, isolating, you know, Cadian on the site. Not bad at all, but another round for Heroic. Whichever way it goes down, yes, it can be close. They're still picking up the rounds here.
Yeah, and he's been playing by the rules of the magic number I keep talking about. So 3 kills there for Oboe. Well, it's important that they're able to get this done on a round like this. You don't want to limit, you do want to limit the CT-sided economy. You want to make sure that they can't continue to add that bank, and you don't want to let them have clean rounds. So this here, even though it wasn't a round on the board, a plant came through, fantastic. 3 big kills, even better. This is damage being done to the economy, as well as more money being put in the back pocket of complexity here, as they need to find a gun round.
Ooh, Chadney, you know I love a good double AWP.
Okay, well, the fact that Stown is rocking it, we'll be seeing that one over towards Banana here. 3 members of Heroic to deal with Complexity's Banana aggression. Early nades back and forth. Molotov to push them back from the half wall.
App set up. So this is very much a one and done, and that's the one. They'll be done. They'll back up. Smoke it off. And that's that part of the map. Playing right that half wall, you can see, respecting that util. They know the CT mid-round util will chip away at them if they continue to stay there. He's trying to use the sound cues to bait. Oh, Config, very nice moves. He pulled the molly and the smoke out of them. And now he can be very quick behind them. They're going up, hey. And Cadian, if that smoke arrives, I think they're going to disrespect it. He's got a good chance at another here. Cadian's on for 4. Maybe even the ace. Go on, Cadian. He takes over the game. He takes 13. And it's all down mid with his AWP.
Lovely stuff there. That was great from Heroic. Not only did they force them back into mid with their top Banana retake nades, Cadian knew that there could be somebody hanging around, finding that opening frag, and then they all like Skittles, they fell running at him. This is aggressive AWPing from Cadian here, and we talk about how good these individuals can be with their fundamental safe pair of hands. Well, this is a bit of aggression, a bit of pizzazz, as me mum would call it.
Pizzazz, definitely. Maybe even Chaz hands after that one with a step ball change out the door. 13. He's going to love that. I wish I could hear it. Cadian, very, very passionate presence in the server. I wish we had a microphone. I could hear that. That was a silent.
I felt the roar.
Oh, yeah.
I could fully hear that. But yes, Heroic, they are looking close and poised to picking up their map pick. Far from over. Far from over. This is 13-9, a 4-round gap, and a discrepancy that Blame is going to look to resolve with the full util. Okay, Chad, when you've got this many nades, what?
Oh, they've blocked it. They were setting up an execute here, so it's going to be a little bit late. Config's nades aren't going to be in time. This looks like the Mouse Sports execute with a couple of tweaks.
Oh, this could be juicy. Let's have a look how it goes down already. Util in the way, Rush ready to extinguish. The Fireman's here. Cadian knows what he can do, though. He's done it before, and he might just do it again. Does not want to outstay his welcome, though. Falls away to deeper CT Arch. It gives up some map control, though. It isolates those players on the site, and they are on red alert.
This is intense. They've used all their nades, and so now, well, Tess is just lining them up, but Blame's into the site. Poison's there too, and unfortunately, Nico, the pillar, the turret, towards Pit. Every time it gets a little problematic, he's there for his contribution. And that will put the 14th on the board. So now it's really no margin for error on the calls here from Complexity. It made a lot of sense what they tried, throwing all of their eggs at that A site.
That was well handled. That's a pocket strat. Those are the ones you pull out when dire straits are on the cards, and while it's looking that way here. So huge play there from Heroic. And if they seal this one without letting Complexity get to double digits, it's great news going into Nuke. Another map they're very proficient on. 4 towards top banana here on the CT side. So a gamble call. Lots of utility being used here to dissuade. But what that will allow is the 2 remaining B defenders to hold on their utility for late round. I don't see Complexity pushing this. Oh, nice nade as well. So damage is really falling in the favor here. Oh, I say that. Look what happened to Stown and Cadian in the meantime.
I guess the one bonus is they are on the AWPs, right? So if anyone's going to be low HP, I guess you'd rather it be them. They can still do incredibly well. A little bit of a flash in. No one going to peek on it, of course. They're just hindering, slowing down, trying to deny. Config has made it towards the top side, though, and has to back away.
Yeah, Heroic really like that util set, and it makes a lot of sense because you can let them have it and then take it back whenever you desire. I mean, it's a very powerful combination of nades. Unfortunately, once it's gone, there's 3 of them banana bombs A.
Rush?
I am baffled. Okay, Rush is going to kind of calm my nerves. Looks like his team are on the way back as well. So this gamble with the 3 from Heroic deep into the pit side.
He didn't read this.
Does look like he's got the right call. If he gets 1 and disappears, this is going to get very hard for Complexity.
Not this time. Rush says no. Big deny, and that's a big amount of room opened up. They know these pit players and site players have been great, though. Would you want to go towards them? Tessus has been nuts. Nico's been on point. They've infiltrated. They're in towards CT, but they've held. They've taken a second. They've caused food for thought, but as said, time is ticking. They've got to go, and they have to get past these 2 absolute monsters. There goes Tessus, but Nico's still alive, and only for so long. Finally, they get towards A. Finally, they get that bomb down. But my word, it's taken a while.
Yeah, that took a while indeed. And Complexity just pulling apart that A defense. Nico hitting his great shots. You got reminded of what they are able to do. It was Tessus who actually found the 1 constellation frag on that take, but Nico just nullified. Puts 10.
Now we're heading towards the tail end of the game here, so let's just take stock of the frags on the board right here. Nico on the side of Heroic, 20 kills to his name. We've got 17 for Stown, 19 for Cadian. That ace right there definitely racking up his frags. Tessus with 15, Boa up now with 11. And on the other side of things, thank you very much, Rushley, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can find him on the Twitter sphere. 21 for Obo, who's had some magical moments. Poison with 17, that clutch on the pistol round, don't forget about that one. 13 for Blame. 10 for Config, and Rush down the bottom there on 9, but we were talking about Rush's frags. On that CT side, he had a lot of impact, some multi-kills that definitely helped them. Now that Complexity have broken a bit of a drought here. That was a 5-round run from Heroic on their CT side.
Give me that poison T-side AWPing. Give me that spice. Give me that flair. I want to be looking away from the screen because your future's so bright, Poison. Now, standard start, you're going to be seeing the banana barrage of utility. Just a carpet of flame and smoke, and there's more where that came from. A deep incendiary seems to be Borup's intentions here. So you can see they will throw down a second layer, jump for the info, deep smoke it, and deny it. That's lovely.
They are
all theirs.
They're burning utility, though. Like, it's out on Borup. Tessus down to a flash. Nico flash and nade. It's going to be quite light, potentially. They've held on to the bare minimum, though.
It's that setup I was talking about, though.
This is all in everywhere across the map. Postured forward in middle. Ooh, even going for info. Tessus, that was very brave.
Yeah, very wild swing. They're coming in. Borup, they will not expect this. He needs a multi-kill. Poison's in trouble. Config to trade. Stown needs more. The bullets are coming in, but his spray control is magnificent. That'll take him the double. That'll give them the numbers advantage. And the bomb is gray screen. Found the fresh weapon, but disadvantaged.
Look at Obo. How has he gotten there? How has he done that? Honestly, I thought this might have been a bit of a GG, considering Rush is like 12 HP. I was like, oh, but they can hold security. Obo's heard those steps. He knows what's coming. He might not be able to beat them there, but because he doesn't know if it's both of them, but he can certainly inform Rush. Rush has found a molly somewhere as well. I don't know if he started with that.
Obo has a smoke here.
Yeah, I was wondering if he's going to drop that. CTs have smoked it off. Rush, I'm surprised.
He's mollied out of position.
Oh, no, the molly, and now he's gone down. Will fall to Obo. They have kits. A lot of pressure on the youngster here. 17 years of age, and it will be the defuse. Cadian secures it just in the nick of time to put 15 on the board. A full team contribution. Testis' push for info does not go unyielded.
Yeah, if Obo was just one step closer there, that smoke towards Banana would have been absolutely everything. Heroic may have reconsidered the push, but this multi-kill here from Stown, the one Hunden said to watch out for in the pre-game interview. 2 massive frags there. Should have probably had the third coming through the smoke, but you can see what this means. It's a big round, 15 on the board here. Still timeouts left for both teams. Not to be taken, so Complexity with the plant. The guns are up. They're back in.
All right, map 1 is a big deal here. This is a huge confidence boost for Heroic. This was a great map choice for them too. It certainly worked out well thus far. Stown up to the challenge. He's proven his value already, but this time going to be challenged again.
Config's aggression. Not letting them have that space for free. Trying to play around that sandbag smoke and cost him his life. So that's a big early casualty, and Cadian takes some initiative and takes a head off. Obo and equalize. So that hard work onto the first. Stown not feeling so guilty anymore.
Oh, this rotation.
4 frags from taking...
Oh, gamble
First
call
map.
here.
Oh,
look at this gamble.
Rotate.
I love it. These are the type of risks I like you to take on the CT side, especially when you're 1 round away from closing things on out. But they are giving up a free A bomb site here. There's not a lot of utility for them to retake back in with if they continue to expend it over towards Banana. But they'll hear these nades go down over on A. So I'm not sure if they want to go for this or if they just want to hold on to the guns and have another crack in future rounds. They could go for a 4-on-4 retake. It's not impossible.
Not.
It's not impossible.
They have more utility, right? Like, we play these games.
I don't know.
It's not impossible,
The
but...
part you really like, Chad, about
Yeah.
gamble stacks is that they save and have another go, isn't it? So don't you
No,
try
I
and-
really like gamble stacks because of a player who used to play on alternate attacks back in Counter-Strike 1.6 for all of you little Zoomers out there. He was an in-game leader for attacks. His name was Moon. It was little M, O-O, big N, and there was Pan on the team and Chef Koch and a Prox, and I'm really going back in my time machine. But
Pan
watching...
used to do observing for us in
Was it the same
Pro League.
Pan?
Could have been.
Okay, well, that team, they always did like gamble stacks. I remember one on Train. I think it was against Zonic and the boys. This is really taking me back to my bedroom when I was a 14-year-old boy. But I really like the gamble stacks there, and that's where I kind of stole a lot of...
Or the benefits of it.
Yeah, because it's such a risk, right? But if you're reading your opponent, which is what in-game leading is about, right? You're getting those feelings, those gut calls, and if you're able to pull one off, and you're able to, we used to call it booking them, right?
Yeah.
You know, when you're able to pull that off, oh, it feels so good. It feels better than running a picture-perfect strategy, actually.
Yeah, I'm in your head to the point where I put all of my chickens in the right place.
It's mental chess, and I think the fact that Hunden now gets to be outside of the server, not having to worry about his own mouse and keyboard, getting these 5 little pawns to push around the board must be a pretty exciting prospect.
I think you'd be a fool to consider what Nico's been doing today, the work of a pawn. Cadian as well. Trying to get that left hook. Down is going to have to try and get himself out of trouble. He's in a problem. Okay, they missed their molly too. So actually,
Hold up a
lost all
second.
their health. What was that? A nuclear device just went off in Banana, and now they've lost the bomb. Heroic could be converting this round off the back of a question mark. I don't know what just happened. It must have been the nades. Down, sticking around. Config hungry. Obo's found it. We're into a 4v3. Now, they don't have to rush onto B, but at the moment, it's all onto Borup. Rotate's coming in from Cadian.
Yeah, whichever way this goes down, Chad, find out who sent that nuke. Because right now, Obo, Rush, and Config are desperately trying to keep this together. This is one that you're probably left reeling a little bit, but it is still feasible. It's just tricky. For now, Config holds mid, joins them back on Banana. Cadian, Borup on the other side, one sitting way towards Emo. That's going to be Borup. Probably going to get the first bit of information. Obo, he's seen him. He's had a look. He knows what's going on, but this could play against them. Keep in mind, it's 30 seconds still on the board. They've not seen the bomb just yet.
Yeah, they're still not rotating, still deep into pit. The rotate will be long, and so Cadian and Borup needed to contribute. 20 seconds for that plant to go down. And with the info and with the shots, Cadian is playing a masterful game here on the AWP. That's it. It's all theirs. Heroic take their map pick. Inferno and 5 individual houses around Denmark get a little louder. Inferno, Complexity and Heroic. It concludes with a big win for the Danish underdog in this matchup. It's a big start and it's a lot to be discussed. I've got myself Pansy and Sponge alongside myself Machine to try and make sense of it all. And I've got a stat right out of the gate that I just spotted here. Obo in defeat had 9 multi-kill rounds, which is the same as his other 4 teammates combined. I mean, he was truly just doing everything he could to pull him across the line.
Yeah, I think you can see right there the reasons we're painting Complexity as a good individual team. The multi-kills on the CT side was a big reason as to why they were able to put rounds on the board. Multi-kills from Obo, multi-kills from Rush, nice little plays tucking in with Molotovs. But one of the things that really impressed me, guys, was the fact that we get to the tail end of this game and Heroic are able to make low buy rounds very, very competitive time and time again. So if we can jump into my toys, all right, let's take a bit of a look right here.
Love that.
So I'm going to paint the picture here of the tail end of the game for everybody with the round timeline, one of my favorite little tools. So you can just see how close these rounds are. You know, only a couple of players from Complexity surviving. Now, the majority of them did go in their favor, but the point is that these were competitive rounds. So what I want to do is bring up my little economy graph, and I want to show you guys how close this all was. So because the bank balance for everybody is low, that means that both teams are fully investing time and time again, those MAC 10s, those UMPs, and both teams are having basically very similar buys in terms of value. So what I want to do here is go into one of the rounds, and this was the last round of the game. So there's MAC 10s in play with the Ts. We're focusing on Heroic here. They've gone for a low buy situation. Deagle's light utility, but they have a very good idea what kind of CT setup they're dealing with. So I'm going to fast forward this a little bit for everybody at home. Let's keep going so we can get stuck into this. Then you can see the utility that they're about to use. A Molotov to lock Rush in position, and a smoke over towards Obo's arch side to lock them in. Then as soon as the utility that you're about to see getting thrown from the CTs, these nades coming across on towards middle, that means they know that they're locked in. Flashes holding them in place, making sure that they cannot leave here. Meanwhile, Tessus and co taking pit, so you're swapping sides of the map. Now they're locked out. The smoke's over towards arch side. Focus on Nico in pit here. He's going to tuck himself down in the mini pit and smoke off towards the arch position. Meanwhile, Rush is still pinned in. Molotov 1, Molotov 2. They're not letting him out of jail for free. They've swapped parts of the map, but they're still dealing with the potential pressure coming from all over. If we look at this, the smoke is about to land, and at that point, they're able to deal with Rush because they don't have to worry about dying from the library side. They take the site, and we don't really need to focus too much more on this because here the round goes in their favor. But I quickly want to dip on into one other teamwork play that we've seen. This is the round where Cadian with the AWP gets stuck over here towards the arch side. There's 3 players over towards B, Stown, Borup, and Tessus is rotating back on in. Nico's dealing with the halls play, and the smokes are about to land. One towards library, one towards arch, and Cadian has been isolated, but keep your eyes on Nico here in the pit. Watch this flash that's about to come on over. It facilitates Cadian to get away. Tessus pushes out, gets 2 big kills, and that bails them out. So I just wanted to highlight here the teamwork and the ability for a team like Heroic to make any situation work.
And I love the fact that while all that's happening, there's still 2 players coming up quad. One's over in the apartment. So, like, Nico's got so many problems coming his way, but he's still able to have that presence of mind to support his teammates and set them up.
Now, I need to talk about this man on the screen. He was the highest rated player for the side of Heroic here. 15 AWP kills in the second half alone. That is an absolute monstrous performance. We saw him the other day down towards the tail end of the scoreboard. But the in-game leader today, he stepped up in a big way. I think we'll probably get this ace coming through for everybody. And it just was beastly that he was able to patrol this site towards A single-handedly with the AWP.
I mean, this is the round where it's like, okay, Cadian, this is your domain. This is middle. You have the AWP on arch side. This is where you can single-handedly influence whether or not you're going to be stepping into a semi-final tomorrow, and he did. He pulled off the AWP ace. It was exactly what his team needed, and it puts them 1-0 up in this series.
Ooh, nuke, baby.
Yeah, no, I think we should probably go and get our thinking caps. Mine's in the back, so I need a quick break, if that's all right.
I've lost mine for years.
Yeah, Chad's always wearing his. He actually never takes it off. That's part of the problem. So Chad's going to keep thinking. We're not. You can grab a drink. We'll be at BRB with map 2 of this quarterfinal.
listen, I can see the light, but I can also see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away. Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping it'll cave in and swallow me whole. Wondering how the world keeps on spinning, kinda scared of living.
Second map, Complexity's turn to return in the series. Will Heroic really take us into a 2-0 spot in the semis? We'll find out. It's myself, Pansy, Sponge, and map 2 will be nuked. It is expected to be explosive. Heroic, they beat G2 handedly on this map last time, Chad, and Complexity are going to have picked this for a reason.
They're on a 7-map winning streak so far on Nuka Complexity, so things are looking good going into their map choice right here, but Heroic are no slouches. They'll be starting on the CT side this time round, and the GG.bet odds there favoring the underdog after map number 1.
I'm expecting a lot from Complexity here. I want to see the best of them, and that's a brilliant start already. Taking down Borup, open things up, and down the vents we go. T-side going to make pretty much ease of their first intention, at least. Not really too many, I guess, limiting factors. Test is down low, dinked up, forced away. Config controlling. Down goes the bomb. And a 5v3 Obo still stands.
And Blame is the lurk in lobby. Really, really difficult situation for Heroic to overcome after this vent dive. Cadian in the aforementioned vents, but no kit.
I'd save the armor.
Save the armor seems to be the sentiment. Nico may not be given that luxury. Config's in a duel with Cadian as well. Gonna get the double peek, and now maybe they want to go for this. Oh, 3 shots, perhaps. Someone needs to be on it. Nico's got another one. And just like this, they're on the defuse.
Heard the vent.
They know where he's coming from. Cadian has the chance, and they've done
way.
it. I truly cannot believe that. We were talking about saves 5 seconds ago, and Complexity fall. A double kill from Nico out of nowhere.
Can we just watch that back?
Please. Yeah, I need to see how that all
Because I need to see
went down.
how it happens, right? Because, as said...
Stown's got a full armor set with the M4.
Here we go,
Let's see.
right.
Okay. Nico's killing ramp during this. Stown's hitting nuts shots.
How?
Here's what I think happened. You know how my brain went, they're saving armor? So did Complexity. So what they tried to do is isolate that single duel on Nico, who was actually backpedaling towards that ramp position. That opened the door, that gave room. It entered into a 2-on-2 on the bomb site. Blame was so far away. And from there, Complexity, they've dropped an absolute sitter right there. Blame is going to be disappointed with that one.
3 AKs though, Chad.
What's that buy?
Yeah, with the bomb planted and all the players going down, there's cash to splash on both teams. There's an AUG, an M4 in round 2 of this quarterfinal. It's definitely a unique start, and this is going to have ramifications throughout the first 5-6 rounds, depending on how this next one plays out. Who does it favor? Obo's going to be lining up part of his part of the L-frame smokes. They start to fly out towards warehouse and main. And the flash from Cadian for Nico's AUG.
Very risky to push through this.
Go and have a look.
Surely. Wow, okay, that's a whole lot of faith in the hipfire, and I guess it works well. Trade, though, going to come back in for Obo, keeping it at level pegging, but he knows that they've seen a lot, they've got the information. Cadian's doing well, a lot of plays and surviving, even under all this threat. But the world around him's getting smaller and smaller here. The T's are closing in.
Yeah, I don't know if Cadian got info on the jiggle, but his movement suggests he does. Doesn't want to take that fight, so Stown's got a lot to do here on Mini. Shadow advantage minimal. Obo eliminates Stown. 2 players with very similar backgrounds coming into this one as they journey into Tier 1 Counter-Strike. Different jerseys, similar ages. Cadian, he's not going to have seen that. Reacting accordingly, this 3v3 looks to favor Complexity.
Oh my god!
What just happened? Did Rush crater?
He did.
Borup gets 1, but his Testis is double to confirm it, and Complexity, I'd call a timeout right now. That pistol, and now a cratered Rush, he's pulled a Sunny.
I'm trying to watch how he fell.
I thought he just hit the side.
Oh no, he jumped, he hit his head on the top of heaven, and then before landing on the
slide
yeah, he's missed it completely. I don't know if we get a replay of that.
We see it?
That was exactly how Sunny lost his life in the Mouse Sports game.
He tried to circle.
Oh no.
Yikes.
Did he catch a flash at the same time?
Yeah,
Am I
he
going mad?
did. He did.
So he just whiffed the air move.
Oh
because of
dear,
it.
we had
Wow.
one of those on Inferno, and right now you're right. I think a timeout should really be necessary here, even just slowing down this eco. To lose that pistol round in the fashion they did, and then that round falling in the same way, this is daylight robbery. Heroic, they've done a fantastic job to do what was offered to them, but they should have never been offered that. Now blame, frustration.
Bloody hell.
Deagle to Nico. Oof. Okay, all right. Some love taps
Calm
now.
it down.
This game. Okay, well, we're 2 rounds in, and Nuke seems to be delivering. Yeah, slowing it down. I completely agree with that idea, Chad. Is like, you don't even have to take a timeout if you can just spend this entire round, everybody talking less, breathing more. It out and sussed out by Tessus. His job is multi here.
Oh.
And, oh, great.
Ooh.
Team kill as well.
Shot Obo. Oh, we've had craters, we've had team kills, we've had config. Finding a Deagle headshot. That will put a rifle M4 into the hands of one of their stars. And is that the smoke? Okay. Not sure how that's going to aid him in any way.
Cut off the sight line, and it's drawn 2 players into that lower bomb site, which has left Borup completely isolated on top. The rotation will have to come through the vent or late through ladder. And right now, that territory is being taken. If Config can make it up top, we can see right now that Blame's going outside to pick up Nico's dropped weapon over towards Warehouse. That's an AK and a smoke that he's been able to get. If he drops that smoke over towards in front of Squeaky Door and the vent, that'll isolate Borup here, and Config will be able to get into the site for free.
Bang on, Chad.
Time.
It's just this duel. Config has to get down. Borup knows it. Second guessing himself. Stown's got that covered, but Blame's gone down. It's all up to Config, and Borup picks up both. A swift double puts the 3rd on Heroic's board, and that is going to be a very harrowing start for Complexity. They're going to need to come in so damn hot with a page off the scrapbook in this first buy. They need something where everybody's got their flight path outlined. This was a great shot from Tessus. He even gets the team kill
God, what
into
a
Obo.
freebie. God, you've got to hope you've got a really strong mental approach to this game.
That's a nightmare of 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Like, that is an absolute nightmare. A 3v5 on the pistol round with no kit in play and losing a retake, followed up by a crater from Rush in a top side split that should have been theirs every day of the week, and then a team kill from your in-game leader onto your little star fragger. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Obo had 9 multi-kill rounds from Inferno. It's certainly within his remit to be getting more than 1 if he's not taken down, and unfortunately for Blame, he was to blame.
Oh, gosh. This is, I really think this is going to come down to a little bit of mental fortitude if Complexity can recover. And, as I said, they could do with a clean one, a good one, a solid one, but obviously the CTs now get so much freedom, so much ability to be a little bit cheekier, find some areas to turn those screws as Rush at -1 currently. Ever fun to sit at. He's having to walk into a bit of a trap here. Oh, he's seen it. Stown has definitely seen the arm. There's just enough of a pixel that should show on radar. He's called it. Cadian's there, tags him up. He can fall away from this. He has support here, but he's isolated him. The rest of the T's going to start coming in towards the site.
Nice work from Obo. He needs more. Blame tagged as well. Good work from Config on Heaven. Cadian, you're so dead. He gets the shot. And maybe he can live to fight another day. Tess is closing in. He's got a nade. He could dunk onto Blame, but he's going to use his bullets. Oh, he's dead, and he's in the rafters.
Tess is still alive.
Config to clutch. And they know exactly where he was. Lauren, they're going to group up. Tessus, Cadian, regathering their resources. A flashbang is all they've got.
This is perfect from Config.
God, the flash is good, but it didn't even catch him. But a nice position, nice place. They have no idea, though. And if anyone, you kind of love Config in these. He needed the second, and Tessus outdoes him. Well played in the end of the CTs, playing it back in together. You could see the moment he was looking for, and there was a second he could have had it. But it slips away, and that clean round Complexity needs still evades them.
Jeez, the plant, though. It allows Complexity to get another buy on the board here. These rounds have been somewhat special here.
I really liked how quickly and decisively they were like, they're going yard, we'll take lobby.
Yeah.
That was really crisp, like super natural. Stown's in Squeaky, Nico's in Hut. Suddenly, Rush has got a real nasty job.
It's like in that the post-game segment we were just highlighting, they're always working for each other. There's always a flash, there's always a trade. They know how to play off of each other very well here. The theory side of things has been beaten into these Danes. And that safe pair of hand mantra that we're putting on them, they work together. You know, they're not trying to do anything on their own unless they have to. And this buy coming on through, well, it's going to be quick.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. Borup, the walking
Another
nade.
team kill!
Another team kill. Config can completely justify it if he gets more, but he's gone. A 2v2 again with 90 seconds still on the clock, and Stown stands up. Blame into a 1v1. This has been a mad start to Nuke. I truly I had expectations. They have been exceeded, and we're only 4 rounds in. Chaos for Complexity. You said mental fortitude's going to become a part in conversation, Lauren. This round even adds to it.
Let's talk through this right now because Blame and Tessus, they both know the situation. Tessus well aware where Blame found that final frag, knows where he was working with the bomb for Tessus. He knows exactly where it's been planted, or at least fallen. Yeah, not to confuse it for everybody at home. Now, playing the bomb allows Blame F to systematically clear through positions that he could be holding. There's so many.
Oh my God, the timing. Has that worked in his favor? Blame F's cleared slightly for... Tessus.
Gosh, you know that was a teammate. You've seen him.
Yeah.
You could see, like, the spray was not with conviction, not with his own eyes. That was Tessus just trying to put bullets down range before the same thing happened to Blame. Okay, I want to see that from the start. This is actually a team kill again. Rush goes down.
Rush is having a nightmare, isn't he?
Goodness for Complexity. I don't know if they could weather the storm of another loss in a 1v1 with the team kill in the round. Blame, great shots, just about adjusting in time.
He's going to be disappointed with that one right there. Things have been going so well for Heroic with the help of Complexity within these early stages here. But now they've had to go for the force by pistols and an SMG.
Look at that. That's quite a deep... Whoa, Blame. Just with the P250 bullets. Actually chunking him down quite considerably. That's Tessus to hold lower.
He's already used his smoke, though, so this is very early in the round. He's going to need to drop back and hold the lines, whereas Blame has a Molotov to deal with him.
And I'm just, I know it's bad almost, but I'm scared for Complexity. I'm worried that their mental fortitude could suffer. Losses here, damage like that. It whittles you away, it just chips away at that confidence that you need to have. And any of these kills, any of these rounds go astray, it's going to be a nightmare to recover. Obo barely stays alive, 1 HP, so suddenly these pistols are incredibly viable.
But going back to top as well, that damage done to the secret play is huge, but Burup's even better. That's 2 massive kills this round. Look at the damage. Look at the remaining 2. The nade from Tessus has softened them up.
Yeah, I mean, Heroic have played this to perfection, taking the initiative, taking the aggression when it's calculated. And now Tessus taking all this space outside. It seems like it's only a matter of time. Blame's back his turn. Borup holding the lobby push. Configs in CT spawn. I mean, this is peculiar.
God, they're saving.
They are. What a huge victory. You know, we were complimenting what Heroic were doing with half buys, with deals, with whatever they could. They've done it again. And it was through Borup. Taking, I can't find an alternative word or a better word than initiative, because that's what it is. It's like a whole team who take the initiative and play the percentage again into round 6.
This is wild stuff here. Complexity need to go back to their beds, jump in, close their eyes.
I was literally going to say this. It feels like a nightmare.
Yeah, they need to wake up from this first spree, because Lauren, you're bang on with the mental fortitude. This here, I don't care who the team is. The way that they have started this game, the calamities that they've had to endure just to this point, and we're only 6 rounds in.
And half it, I don't want to say it's not their fault. Obviously, there is part and parcel of it, but to have so many incidents in so many occasions in such a short span in a playoffs game. This is to get to the semifinals. You're already a map down. And this is your map choice. You just got kind of gifted a good start back in. You could have done well with it, but no, it's instantaneously put under a microscope of, well, everything now gets called into question. They need a truly strong IGL, great mental fortitude to keep that focus. Of course, they can do the motions, they can run through it, but you're certainly going to be doubting yourself in a couple of moments here and there. But on the other side, of course, Heroic, feeling as such as well. Now just taking their time.
Distinct lack of the CT presence in Warehouse. They're quite happy to give Complexity the outside rounds, and they hold them at long range. Great work. Nico does give the early advantage. He will be checked here. Rush, that was lazy. Sloppy corner clear, and he's going to get a knife.
Oh, I love it. A knife.
More salt poured into the Complexity wound.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
I'm straight up mad. Like, how is there not a timer? I know these guys are consummate professionals. I know they're great at what they do, and they will maintain, and they will try and persevere. But trust you me, my blood is boiling. I'm sure theirs is as well. Blame F trying to do everything he can. One by one they peak, and one by one they fall. And now he's got the 1v1. He's got the bomb. He's got 35 seconds. Canadian does have that full util kit. He's got everything he'd want to try and kind of diffuse this building situation.
Oh, Blame given the chances, and he's got the aim to back it up. He's going around the world there. Cadian goes down. It's a clutch and a one they needed. You said he's leading from the front. Blame does it again. Yeah. Clutches for 2.
You wanted a strong in-game leader. He has had to pull them out of a hole here with 2 clutches in the only 2 rounds that they posted. Everybody else is melting apart on their team. Craters getting knifed, team kills. The in-game leader, the strongest man in the game, quite literally.
Literally, yeah, we'll take that.
Is pulling them through right now.
Let's see these first shots. I mean, he's controlling his spray, but this third shot.
Boom.
Yeah. I can't even fault him for trying.
Big boy.
And good spray control. So he doubles his frags there in 1 round and then some. 4 kills from 100 to 0 from Blame F. Plays as big as his biceps. 5-2, round 8 of map 2. And Complexity needed that. They do not, however, come in with everything sunshine and rainbows. There is a Mac 10 for Rush, Galil for Config, and they're only up against those pistols. Yeah. Zeus, though, for Cadian. Give me that any day of the week.
I think Blame's been working on his cardio because he's just giving Complexity a bit of room to breathe here. Thank you, guys.
I saw you wanted to say that line for all of Alex's intro to this round. It was really worth it, Chad.
It doesn't come to me often. I'm not the wittiest.
Oh, God.
Oh. I was ready.
Obo was really backpedaling there. Could not be holding down his S key any harder. Like, no, please, no. But finally, a break for Complexity. I think we can all actually just, you know, like in the movie, when there's a really intense fight scene, they have to cut away to, like, you know, a conversation in a room somewhere, because otherwise everyone gets a bit stressed.
Yep.
Right.
This is what's happening now, you know? Like, after all of that, we're now cut to Hobbiton or whatever, and they're drinking tea.
Could you imagine
skipping through the field?
Zeus kill, if that came through, and then, you know, someone had a revolver, someone gets a revolver kill, then the Negev comes out. You know, imagine the way that it could go. We just get an absolute splattering of all the weapons here from Heroic onto
Heroic
Complexity.
have actually been really working on that Negev nuke. The 1.6 wall bangs come back out. Rush does get himself an extra 600 bucks.
Is Rush on the board yet, officially? Because he's had, I think, 2...
He is on the board.
There we go.
He has 2 kills, but it only says 1. So I promise you he has 2 frags, guys. I promise.
Here we go.
So now the game can actually start.
Yeah. All right. So welcome to Nuke, guys. 5-3, of course, the starting on this one.
Yeah, mixing it up. Why not? Oh, it was Blame, not Obo. Sorry. But yeah, Blame definitely getting away from the only real threat in that round, and he's not fannying around with any knives or nades. He wants to get themselves back into this one. Chad's bang on, though. It feels like Nuke might just be starting. And topside push, Config pre-aiming, and he's got a real chance. 1 for 1, he'll take that with a Mac 10 and the adjustment slow. Looking good. Nico holding the wolf from the door with a triple kill of his own. Puts poison. He can descend quietly. Not anymore as he fires off some shots. Can he do what his leader has already done? Sets the precedent. 4 clutches from his squad. Poison. No slouch on the AK. Primary AWP for Colt. Now, where's that bomb? Now I can see, thank you very much. Clever camera, just at the bottom of heaven. Try to bait the pre-fire. Nico only has 3 bullets, you'll have heard that. Gets to reload all this. Oh, lovely. Baiting the shots so he doesn't hear the drop. Tessus perhaps caught out. A long way to go before I can start shouting and screaming, though. Into the top site, they know where the bomb is. Poison. Playing around with the unknown.
1 flash left. These 2 still posted up. Molly comes in, forces the fight. And Nico with his 4th that round. The first 3 were outstanding. This just kind of seals the deal. But a lovely round from him.
I was just watching that back there. He's found the perfect gap against their top execute while they're clearing off, expecting main to be smoked. He right here is standing next to the cusp of this smoke right here that we can see on the screen and pivoting perfectly. So he not only used their smoke to obscure the vision from the squeaky door player, he also used it to deny the individuals coming out of hut. I'm really, really interested if that's something Heroic are well aware of and have prepped for, because he snuck in there like it was something he does every day of the week.
Yeah, it did look very comfortable for him. Of course, the problem with being the mini player that gets multi-kills is you can have to worry about yard. That does become a problem after 15 seconds of ridiculous amounts of smoke. I'm counting 5 outside at the moment. And Tessus, oh, he's got a good premonition. Oh, and a chance, but not enough. Poison opens up the site, opens up the account, and they're wrapping heaven. Nico, he's in the right place at the right time every time. Poison finding a double to get this round started.
Nice work from Poison. Coming online this time. He was a little quiet at the start, and I don't blame him. The rounds were certainly not with them. But now the T's get a little bit of map control. They get to put themselves into place. Down, toying with the ideas here, but you can see on the other side how close these boys are. And it looks like they want to run it up here.
Yeah, but, I mean, there couldn't really be a better weapon for this job here. Borup. Okay, burning, but they're flash 2, and unfortunately, yeah, caught in mobility. Poison will get that bomb down, breaks his legs for the efficiency. And unfortunately for Stown and Cadian, this might be the first time we see Heroic talking about that S word.
Cadian's getting a bit inquisitive here in the vent with the AWP. Important that they hold on to this going forward with the back and forth nature of how these rounds have been going on the later stages of this CT side here. But now he's thinking better of it, tucking on back. And both Stown and Cadian will do their very best to hold on to these weapons.
I was watching Chaos Com's video.
Yes?
They call Decon Sync, and I much prefer Sync.
Okay, you want to call it Sync?
I think I'm making the transition. Decon, it's just a bit of a faff. I understand there's some decontamination word right there on the screen, but Sync is to the point, it's direct.
Yeah.
And I can run with that.
Okay.
That's
all right, you can flow. We can. Well, the reason that the players, this is for ladies and gentlemen at home, you try and keep it to like as lower syllables as humanly possible, so that comms are very quick and concise. That kill right there onto Nico, if he had a double, that may have changed the outcome of this round right here. Unable to convert, and good stuff for complexity. It will be one of these rounds where they might have to consider the force, and they will. So behind this, a few more low-buy weaponry. Deagles, MP9, a little bit of utility. It's going to be more of an aggressive stance towards Yard here. We have one tucked in towards the back of warehouse, Stown spamming over through the smoke. We're up with the MP9 on his own in the top side.
Heroic are making a fan out of me. Really liking the diverse play here. Cadian will try and stick around credit card, and look at that. There's 3 players to receive early aggression outside this round. Does mean there's a gap, and they've identified that. So what's the rotate going to look like? Testis is going to be the first man on the scene.
Ooh. This could be nice. The crossfire as well could be coming into play soon enough. You can see the player down towards Sync now. Do you like that? Okay.
He's going through.
He's not going through. He's not that brave. Come on now, Chad. Calm it down. Cadian's on the case over towards ramp. Flash in case he felt like it, but does he expect Blame F out there?
I mean, Blame got the kill, right? So he's aware it's a possibility, and I love that Cadian's got this inkling. He's probably going to sweep wide. Nico's looking for him as well. Oh, Blame. He is here to game. Another headshot found, and so a 2v2 in the mid-round. Stown pushing lobby for info. Cadian holding the close line, and he will find him. No exit for him. Knife out for Obo, and 7 for Heroic. Double kills distributed nicely. And round 12, Complexity are in somewhat of dire straits. It's Obo and Rush will have to make some sacrifices.
They completely gave up the lower site there. Like, they gave up the lower side after having control, right? All it was the underground flash from Stown into the bomb site from Sync that scared them away and forced them back into Cadian's op. This kill right here. And then now they're all searching. Everybody was searching. Blame searching, Nico searching, Cadian. Obo's waiting for the frag to come in so he knows where to go. But Stown, he's being the stopper in lobby, making sure those rotations can't come back through. Heroic are doing a fantastic job of dealing with the tendencies of Complexity here. And now the money's being forced on down. A MAC-10 will come out for Obo. Rush yet to buy. On the other side of things, an auto shotty.
So the things, or rather the players that have been standing out to me on this Heroic CT side, and you've already highlighted Stown, is the way that Stown and Nico are working together. When Nico's not main, Stown is there. When they're working on crossfires, Stown will often be ratting around that T-side vent. He can then catch the rotate, as you outlined, by Sync. But like, they are communicating together. The one that's closest to outside can take secret steps down. They've got like this lovely little flow state between the two of them where one of them's got the gaps covered. Very exciting to watch. And well, look, the different look for Stown this time. Through the flames, gets the bomb drop, and now a quick one from Rush. Borup pulling out the alligator, and he's hungry tonight. Snapping away on 2, and a bit of damage inflicted as well. Now Blame and Poison into the top side. Bomb loose, Complexity. They're trying to destabilize Heroic, but it seems that they can thrive in this chaos around the smoke. It's beneficial to Tessus.
Oh, he's got the bomb.
Yeah, it's
amazing
very loud.
away with that. Yeah, I was kind of surprised no one committed to just trying to stop it, but no. He's gone down towards lower, and Blame F is going to be playing this one almost on his own in a weird way. And Tessus expects it. He reads it like a book. Tessus really is playing such a matured game. He's really got an experienced head on the shoulders now. Poison in the corner. I don't see how he gets out of this one alive.
98% of the time, he is dead. Will we see the 2% tonight? Look likely. And there we have it. Tessus, yeah, playing well ahead of his years. And I think I could attribute that to many of the youngsters that find themselves in a heroic jersey at this point. Very, very fun to see this team maturing in front of our very eyes. 8-4, folks. 8-4. It is CT side nuke. You would expect to see the lead, but this next, 3 rounds of play will determine a whole lot as to how competitive this second map is.
We wanted to ask him some more questions, Alex. We might get an opportunity if the game continues in this fashion right here. This is phenomenal stuff. The tendencies, the way that Complexity like to approach these rounds, Blame always on the lurk, always searching for gaps and space and trying to take advantage of those CT-sided rotations. Well, right now, Heroic have his number. He's doing a good job. He's a reason that 2 rounds are posted on the board for Complexity with those clutches. And now it's pace. That's the answer. That's how Complexity want to get back into this. They've thrown the smokes, but Cadian's seen nothing's crossed.
Oh, that's
nothing to report.
Free information, that is. Now he has to be kept on his toes. Now they can respond accordingly. Going to adjust himself slightly to maybe a deeper hold, sit further back, maybe reading they are going to be on a lighter buy. Don't want to get overwhelmed. Here we go. Nico goes down, but Stown is there. We said before, safe pair of hands and a safe 3-man pickup. But there's been damage done, but it looks like it's all but quelled.
Yeah, wow, there was moments there where that really could have gone horribly wrong. Blame's still one of those moments, and he's walking around the map still heart beating. The spray from Stown really stopped that from getting awkward. I mean, the spray control, when he's shooting at toes and kneecaps as well, Chad, like, that's not easy spray. It's not center of mass. It's not a really easy target to adjust your spray to. He's aiming at bloody toenails.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job of bailing them out there. That round could have really fallen if he was traded top heart, but look at Borup. He's more than ready for this rotation back into lobby. Blame. It's an off angle. I don't think he's going to check this. He's going to poke his barrel forward. He should be taking out of the picture any second now. Ooh, okay, I thought for a moment there was a chance, but you might be watching this and thinking, Blame, he's always last alive. Well, he's well aware of his capabilities as an individual. He's got fantastic entry fraggers. Rush is very selfless. He'll get in there. Config as the second man. Oboe as well likes to get stuck in. Poison potentially leading the charge with that AWP. So Blame doesn't need to be the first man in. He doesn't need to approach the game in that fashion. You will see him in a lot of these clutch situations, and having converted 2 out of 4 rounds for the boys, it's a very positive stance, but they need a few more here. So Complexity, they're being shaken right now. I haven't seen them look this disrupted in the entire time I've been watching them, to be honest.
They're under perhaps an unaccounted for amount of pressure. And now, looks like Stown immediately getting himself down the vents, trying to keep them at bay. Bullet
Knife out.
Keeping Rush down. And anybody that wants to try and be a rat in that smoke will have a slice.
Come on now.
Down.
Normally when we talk about young players in these situations, obviously it's to the negative extent, but then also when everything goes right, they just play their absolute best. They are in the perfect environment for this.
True.
They have nothing to worry about, nothing to fear anymore. They've got a map to the good, and they're already leading quite nicely in map 2 here. So if anything, they start feeling a bit more confident, and obviously showing the other foot for the T's here. Now, that's a beginning. As Poison goes down, Rush already tagged up. We saw how that happened. And Config's found a bit of room. Did Nico see or consider that? I don't think so.
Yeah, and that might make things awkward for Tessus here. He's being quiet about it. He's well aware of the potential. Good catches from Oboe. Advantage now, Complexity. He's cleared outside. Cleared Mini. Config sweeping into heaven. He won't catch a glimpse of Tessus yet, but I mean, in time.
That's right. No, he's just below. Bloody hell.
Keeping his noggin down.
Yeah. Oh, boy. 3 members of Complexity descending to the lower site. Who's going to be the first CT rotate here? I mean, I'm seeing Cadian partnered up. Config's got full control. Tessus can control the vent drop.
See how they're clearing lobby? They're looking for that lurk. Now, they're either going to save right here, or they're really making sure that nobody's holding. Look at this. They're really clearing as if somebody could still be close. So very, very worried about that 5th man, well, 4th in a round like this, being somewhere he shouldn't. That'll be round number 5, and Config's actually on the hunt here. So this is curious, seeing if they can get any damage done. But round number 5 will be on the board for Complexity. So if they get 6, a very good first half. You know, we're talking about how Nuke seems to be trending more in the favor of the T's if they can continue to punish that CT-side economy. And just remember the first 3 rounds of the game. Crater, TK, 3v5 pistol loss. That's how they started. So them bouncing back, they're getting in it. They're really activating.
I mean, yeah, so of the last, what have we seen? 3 CT rounds in a row. That's going to be breaking their silence. Complexity, their rounds have been scattered, so only stringing together 2 consecutive round wins over this one, and Obo contributing straight through the smoke in order to find themselves their 5th. Chad's bang on. You can kind of sweep it all under the rug, forget about it, take your break, have your swig of water, and come into that second half revitalized. But a 10-5 would be a little more of a stern reminder of how this game did start. Let's get into our final Complexity T round. Could be of VSL 1 Cologne 2020.
For Complexity, you want that additional. I feel mentally that's one of the ones that when you go into that second half, you're feeling better about it. 6 seems a lot better than 5, even though it's really not that far away. Honestly, any silver lining, any confidence booster, I feel they will benefit from. But Gideon, that smoke, once it dissipates, how much vision does he have? Wow, okay, straight through to lobby. Obo's there. Bear in mind, there's still a player into the left. It's Rush. He could do with this. That's excellent for him. Doesn't fall to the death. Doesn't get knifed. No bad problems here for Rush. That is a big success, and that's very early in the round.
Yeah, and Boris straight into the crosshairs of Obo. Wow, sometimes the rounds just come straight to you, and there's the feat he was waiting for. Sprays wildly. Nico eventually caught through the smoke, and it's down to Tessus. He's got a whole squad coming towards him. He eventually is knocked on his ass. It's 9-6. Heroic heading into their T side, but Complexity back, and with a whole lot of vicious counter-strike to come.
This gravity, it keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe and I don't wanna die. Stop this gravity, 'cause I wanna say goodbye. I laid awake just begging to let go. I almost got to suicidal thoughts, but you stepped in. An angel sent from heaven showed me how to live again. Now I'm falling and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I wanna say goodbye. Gravity. 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 Gravity.
Die for Complexity. This is them coming in with the deficit from map 1, and it was quite telling. Heroic are prepared, they're locked in, they're loaded, and they are looking good.
And I will remind you as well that we've seen Complexity's T side on Nuke look almost indomitable with the right anti-strat against the right team. And this was enough to humble Blame F. And of course, their mental fortitude has been really tested. They're charging, and this looks like the right call. Someone's been doing their homework. They got a ramp stack into the ramp stack. Okay, here we go, and there we go. It's over. 5 kills in quick succession. Complexity and Blame F made the right call to start off the second half.
Just the other day, we were singing their praises, Heroic, when they did that ramp rush where they were bunny hopping backwards, having that hitbox, the head tucked down, going around to ladder base, doing the same thing. And Complexity went, none of that silly business. Run into this stack right here. We'll put the USPs right in your face, and we'll show you how it's done. So that's clean and easy as you like. They're the 5 headshot strategy working perfectly, but Heroic are going to bounce back straight with a force bite. We love their top side take here where they do the Molotov towards top hut, the smoke in front of Squeaky Door to force the rotation, but this time it's going to be straight down Secret and straight through the smoke.
Oh, that was the 1-2. Dunked him with the nades, scout through the smoke, flashes from his teammates. A perfect and very nasty deaths down. Good moves. He's actually got himself down towards Sync. Problem if Obo doesn't get away after the first, he's getting shot at. This could be perfect. Borup does manage to get himself the frag and the plant. They've got a lot out of these pistol armor. And now it could get awkward. I mean, I will remind you, there is not a kit in play here for the CTs. Time is their greatest ally here for Borup and co.
Borup's position makes me nervous. It's one that can really bring great success. Rush tries to check on it. He falls first. And now the support, the cavalry is here. There it is from control. Oh. They're keeping it under control. And Heroic get right back on the board.
I want to point out why that's fantastic work right there from Heroic. The fact that both played window above Borup's position to clear him out. They have 2 options in Complexity. They either dip and dive over the top and try and swing on the dark position, or force around on top of that rafter and put distance between him and the CTs retaking the site. The 2 players in the top window ready to swing means that no matter what, he is safe. They can trade. It can be efficient. And they've turned this round on its head.
And they turned dark from being a one-and-done, gimpy spot into something...
That's insane.
Very, very powerful. I love it. Heroic starting to make fans out of many of us here this evening. Great Counter-Strike. And Blame does have config in the ranks, which fortunately puts them into an early stead. It's going to be equaled out by Cadian. Tessus is going to be working his way round red. There's smokes to enable his cross to Secret. Nico's already down there. And only real CT presence, likely the first rotator, will be that ramp player in Obo. So not really in the biggest rush. I'm intrigued as to why they've waited by red with the bomb, like crossing so late, and they are doing so without any CT calls. Nobody's holding that cross. Not a sound cue, not a peep.
They've really studied the CT side of rotations of Complexity here. Look at how exploited this is. Look how much room that Nico's been able to take without an early warning signal whatsoever. The first sound cue they'll get will either be a door swinging wide open or the window breaking, and at that point, there's 2 Molotovs. That could Molotov off to either side of ramp, and they won't have to worry about anybody coming on through. Heroic still have to clear the site. They still have to worry about it. We know it's clear. The window breaks. There's the Molotovs I was talking about. Now they can isolate the site. 7 seconds to do so. Pushing on in. Mac-10 leading the way. Planting safe. Decon's covered. Things are looking picture perfect right here for Heroic.
I have very rarely seen something so choreographed. So Nico. You know, that was ambitious. And it does open up a little bit of an account of danger. Tessa's probably not going to be gifted the same sort of support, maybe, from Borup. But yes, Tessa's falls away, plays the new angle, allows them to filter through. Surely this gets stopped now. Blame F in the 1v2. Cadian's not going to let this slip. Tessa's tries to make the play, but Blame F can fall away from this one. And, I mean, these rounds are close. I have to, again, it's the heroic prep, the approach, the conclusion. The fights are still close. We know Complexity are great. They're great players. But god damn does Heroic have a good head start.
It's putting them in such good stead that it's almost always a disadvantage for Cole on the retake. Like, it doesn't matter how good your aimers are. If fights are always going to be more awkward than your opponents. It was a great shot, but it's Tessus that really wrapped it all up. He just had to exist while Borup did what he could from the sync or decon position.
There are a lot of details from that round, but the key one that I want to note here is Config actually taking the duel with Stown in the Squeaky room. One of the keys to Heroic's T side is the Molotov on the hut roof with the nade towards Squeaky to blow it open and the smoke that limps out in front to obscure vision for the vent dive. That's Stown's playground. Now, if they want to take that heads up, they can fight him. They can drop some pop flashes in and really take that duel. It's not an easy one, but if you're going to send anyone after him, maybe it will be Config. So let's keep an eye on that as we get back into the gun rounds in what will be round number 20. Right now, it's just BlameF on that AK. He's shown it outside. He's now dropped back towards ladder, spamming it away, trying to force them in a direction. We can see now 2 players already down secret, make that 3. Stown overseeing things in the yard, just dropping a bit of utility, keeping them eyes glued towards that yard position, but they're already across.
Yeah,
so
rinse,
much.
repeat. And then they'll do the same Molotovs, I assume. Flash up, take space. And bomb can come in. It's set to cover the right side. He was responsible for the molly, and fortunately, Config did not get that headshot, but there was a real chance, a slight gap in this execution, or this form of it. Flash on the right side of ramp for Borup to do some damage, perhaps. It's down into that warehouse. So he's got Rush he's hunting that rifle down. They know there's a prized possession that's been stolen from them, and there is a degree of hunting involved for this. 2 AKs recovered. Oh, 1 AK recovered. Now Nico's hitting his headshots.
Okay, sorry, what?
Straight through.
Hello?
All right, mate. All right, Nico. He's got his Desert Eagle. He's got 2 kills.
Some people might question why was the need for that chase in there. Well, the money, because of the force buy from Complexity, what means is going into this gun round, they won't have the goodies. Kit Watch will be on high alert right now. Weapons either have to be emissions, and you can see that the FAMAS has already been bought on through. So this means they've had to drop their firepower for more utility. And Nico here, hello. I don't even know that you're here, mate. I can't see you. Now I can.
You got the little bit of splatter for the first shot.
Look at him having a giggle. I'd be laughing too, mate. It can't go better than that, can it?
Yeah.
Oh, God, they're most dangerous. They're having fun. They're running exactly what they want to do, but this is the buy round against them, and it looks shoddy, Alex.
Yeah, look how fast Config's trying to rotate in. He actually may have missed the vent drop. But already, we have got a Borup behind enemy lines. They'll do outside smokes, maybe even go ramp. This could be groovy. I love the way this one's starting to shape up. Look, outside smokes, Cadian to lurk. Tessa's down, Nico taking... Well, I should correct myself. It's Borup down lower. But those 3 will be working their way through the lobby position.
We heard the ladder. Config was noisy.
That's a big problem. Kind of surprised seeing a fumble like that. Maybe truly unaware someone could have been down there. Maybe that little bit of seed of doubt came through, but now the T's get even a better launch pad into this round. Still fully sitting on all those mollies. No smokes left, but I'm assuming this top site is about to get roasted.
Oh, man, it's clever. Borup catching that.
Oh, Rush.
Oh, and Rush is flushed out into the top. Only poison. He's very precise, is our poison, but not the first. 3 versus 2. It's down to plan. Obo completely nullified. He won't be able to climb up there. And so another tough decision to be made. Complexity's chances of a semi-final are just being ripped from them. And I mean, Obo, a FAMAS. You said Kit Watch, you're bang on. Heroic by getting this bomb down, they've almost sealed the deal. No one's given them a free frag, and that's far from free. Obo pays with his life.
He has to save. I don't know how Blame can get back into this. There's no time, there's no chance, there's no kit, there's no hope. Borup finishes him off. That's 13 on the board for Heroic. This is amazing stuff.
Can we just take a second to really quantify? We're seeing Heroic win their map looking quite good. It was exciting. We've come into this. This was the danger map, right? Complexity known to have really good T sides, very robust, very good players individually. It all comes together. Heroic have turned up incredibly well prepared. They seem to be reading the game ahead of them. They're feeling it. I am worried for Complexity in this, wholeheartedly. I think Heroic have done more than enough now.
Here's a short list of the teams that Complexity have beaten on Nuke recently. Na'Vi, Mad Lions, OG, Force, Vitality, FaZe. I mean, the list is long and it is star-studded.
7 straight.
That's illustrious. That's
7 in a row for Complexity, and Heroic with God Hunden watching over. It does seem to be translating into something worth screaming about. They are 3 rounds away from a semi-final, ladies and gentlemen, and they're doing so with style. The Borup vent dive into outside smokes, into Config thinking he had to rotate, to Borup profiting into a 4v5 topside execute. It's hot. It's Counter-Strike. And I'm loving every second we get to spend watching it. Deagles, Kevlar Vest, it's Complexity doing their Kevlar best to make something happen in round 21, and already the head of the snake has been chopped off. Now they writhe embarrassingly for the next 90 seconds.
Rush, go back to Tessus for us before he reloads. One bullet. Look, one bullet shot. That's all he needed to take Blame out. Just one little AK bullet to the head, and, well, the in-game leader and the man who clutched in the first. Okay, Poison, you heard me. You want to fight as well.
All right. It's got to be a bit more, though. Again, for the CTs, it can't just be small victories. It has to be quite big ones at this point, even though they are on Deagles. You need more away from this. Now, Obo falling back. That's good from Rush. Taking out Cadian's excellent. They've seen now the vast majority of players. Do they check on Config? He has gone unnoticed thus far. Borup seems aware.
Saw him.
Run out. It's game over for Config. And my word, Heroic are going from strength to strength. Poison put down. Heroic on the verge of almost victory at this point.
The money's still not great because of that Deagle Kevlar buy. Look, again, you can see Blame F. He has to get Kevlar, then he's going to get utility behind it, but a defuse kit won't be able to follow. So you just have to look at this. By going for more of a potent pistol buy, they've actually hurt themselves going into this gun round. It's enough to work with, sure, but it's not all the goodies. They haven't even given themselves a single round here. Oh, dude, that's like you're in the street and you both go to the same side and then you come back and you go to the same side. It's the nice little dance.
A life pro tip for you is when I feel it coming, I just put my hand, I point in the direction I'm going.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
I look a bit weird, but they know what's going on. They know what's going on.
Like you're on a bike.
Exactly. So here we are, folks. We are at the business end of our first quarter final. Poison narrowly firing off a shot 50 caliber round, giving Nico a undesired haircut.
The util's so light already. We're at 120. Some players have nothing to put into play at this point. They've bought down to 0. This is the investment. This is the chance for Complexity to dig their heels in. Has to start now. Nothing's gone wrong to start with, which is a bonus. They've had some trips and falls on the way early. Now we're seeing those smokes getting put into place. This plays in towards Nico. What does he do with this?
The outside smokes might give Nico the fight he wants.
Exactly that. Now he knows what's up. There goes...
He's ahead of it!
Nico just read him like a book. He is just one step ahead this whole way through. Borup looking to maybe punish these rotations, try and get a little behind them. No, Rush right there. Now gets the burst, gets head ripped off. It's looking good for the T's.
Wow. I mean, I will give you a little insight into that round. Chad, his mouth agape, eyes wide. They are playing these Complexity boys like a fiddle. Unbelievable. Ahead of the glaive smoke. One of the panic buttons that Cole like to hit is he'll underhand it, and now Stown. Oh, okay.
It's such a nightmare.
Desperately trying to hold on to his weapon. This isn't for a round win, by the way. This intensity is just to preserve. Everything, to have another go.
Everything is, look, Heroic have done the hard work. They've definitely got the strat book out, the notebook out, the game plan, everything. They know exactly what Complexity are doing in every single moment. But what it looks like, the picture it paints, is Complexity are just missing timings or they're just getting unlucky. That's not the case. That is not the case whatsoever. They are being handedly destroyed by the #1 team in Denmark right now. Let me tell you that the stat lines over there for HLTV.org have Heroic as the #1 squad because of those roster changes within the realms of Astralis.
We're at 15-7. I feel like it's just been this constant machine from Heroic.
There's the blunt object you were talking about, Chad. Every time I watch Obo, I see what
he doesn't miss.
No, he doesn't miss.
You give him a jewel, you give him a heads-up fight, he doesn't miss.
No, and that's certainly a powerful tool, but poor Workman blames his tools. Let's see what Complexity can do into what could be the final round of our first quarterfinal here, folks. Blame's going aggressive, taking matters into his own hands. He wants to be able to call the outside cross, put Poison into a good position to thrive. And I will admit, he's been a relatively quiet presence on this second map, the do or die, the sink or swim. Smoke's outside. Blame will be able to call whether or not it's a fake or not.
A lot of pressure on his shoulders here, Blame F, to keep this under wraps, keep that information flowing throughout the team, ensure that they have the full picture of this, let alone if they actually come towards him. Now, beyond that, the T's running down this clock. They're making him sweat. They're going to make him just have to really go through the motions. Are we in the right place? Do we have...
So uncomfortable.
It's vile. And Blame F, I'm sure he's chomping the bit. He wants to get involved, but he can't. He's going to hear some of this. He's going to note what's going on. He still sees nothing.
Oh, yeah, you still can't... Look how far he's pushed up. Now he's got the info, and he does get the frag. That's huge. Outside smokes, a complete waste of time for Heroic.
Who's on ramp?
And it's Poison. Already a chance for a second. He's taken down Nico. Just 3, make it 2 as they hold the wolf from the door. The bomb needs to be recovered. Stound's not got the moves yet. And an AWPA training on his location should confirm the round. Complexity, this is much more convincing stuff. Nice clean pick up for Rush. And so 8 is found, but quite the spree required. 7 rounds in a row. No easy feat. It is CT side nuke. We've seen 7-round sprees. We just saw, was it 6? Yeah, 6 in a row from Heroic's T side. So not out of the realms.
I understand why Heroic aren't going for the all-in force barrier here. They have a lot of rounds to work with, but I would love to just see them keep their foot on the gas, right? Because the intensity that they've been able to build in this game and pushing Complexity to the backs against the wall, of course, you could get away with, you know, one sloppy little mistake.
That's it. We'll see. Pacey round coming in. Flashed out. They're going to get around it.
The bomb lower.
It's already lower. Tess has got away with it. Is anyone on Ram? Does he get the cross? He gets it. That's a plant. They're getting away with a lot here. And now Config probably going to be annoyed by this. Wants to get back in.
Oh, not like this.
Up just got 1, and now we're in a bit of danger. Config keep control. Keeps calm, keeps cool. Keeps the round favorable.
Cadian. Not going to get away with that one. Obo was getting his way to the bomb.
I was ready to pack it up. I was so ready to pack it up. That seemed so
That's got his mouse bungee in his hands. He's already halfway wrapped
He's packing it up.
Oh, even rounds like that are scary.
Yeah, that was a Glock, no armor, charging down the vents and getting a bomb plant. Lovely stuff. I love the contrast of the 2 rounds they've currently thrown since match point, since semi-final point. They go for the super slow and they go for the rascal play. I do love the Heroic cams giving us insight into the type of atmosphere they're currently thriving within. And I think it's very exciting when you have young and competent individuals managing to have fun when it's become their job. This is their profession. This is how their performance review looks. For you, you're sitting in a meeting and they're telling you, you need to do this, you need to do that. For them, it's all on the scores, on the doors. Deep smoke from Poison.
Needs a belter from this as well. He doesn't have the support from Obo. Normally Obo kind of leans around that way as well. It's just him this time. In the right place for Obo too. Finding Testis is good. Blame F in position. Nicely held, nicely handled. Poison running through the veins. Has already bore up now left in the 1v5. Very tough to consider a way he finds in, but that's a clean start.
Very clean. He did damage to Poison as well. If Config's a bit too frag hungry here, we could be having some issues. They're so isolated. He has a minute to have 4 1v1s. And that's a reality that, of course, Complexity are going to be looking to resolve. They'll be making sure their pieces are much more adequately positioned. And I like this from Poison. He's got one side of the door covered. He knows a ramp descended there. Config's got the lobby push. Seems like Heaven will be his route. And look at how close of a line Rush is holding. If he holds W, if he's not walking into this line of sight,
oh no!
Got a chance. Controls it.
The avenue to top was open then. So I freaked out that if you'd missed that Burrup up the ladder in the side.
That's what you hope for, is it? That's not the one. They don't die after the second. I think that's the face you're pulling.
Okay. Double digits now for Complexity. 1 timeout remaining in their back pocket. They're not going to get an opportunity to use it if they lose a round. So they need to start mounting here. Obo's leading the charge yet again. 20 kills to his name, 18 for Blame F.
Money's down.
Pistols again. So we saw how dangerous Heroic were before. They get a couple more cracks just like this. They might even be able to break through.
Oh, chunky damage. Obo's going to be chuffed with that.
Yeah, that's one that I'm sure the Lanxess would have made a whole lot of noise about, just seeing 4 bodies hit the deck in quick succession. Quick massacre to get them into the next round of play. We aren't going to be seeing that timeout called, but yeah, just a hold of his mouse one and catching that last straggler through the smoke as well.
It wakes him up, I guess.
Good to see him smiling.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard mentally for these guys. Some of them younger, some of them older. You know, it's a lot of pressure. And I don't like always going to the mental sort of side of things, but when you've been battered and bruised, you're against 15, having a round like that, get you feeling it again.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how many they needed to connect, right? How many they needed to string together back to back, and they are 4 of the required 8 from doing so. 4 in a row for Complexity. They have had 8 match points from Heroic. That's 8 times they have had, and continue to have the shot at picking up the semi-final spot here in regulation. Previously, we have seen evidence that Heroic may have issues closing. Maybe mental turmoil can start to creep in.
Oh my god.
Love it from Poison. That's going to get right under their skin. Borup eliminated, forced to watch as this round will have to work without him. All his util, all of his frags no longer going to be a part of the contribution. Cadian's got a lovely little lineup for this one.
Bravery to go for that in these scenarios.
Oh my god.
Underhand smoke to gray screen the Rafters play on Resh. It was Rush, excuse me. Poison plucks him out. Just 2 remaining. Complexity have just completely locked this down. A-site is theirs. Get away. And even pushing into Squeaky. Config does make a bit of a meal of it. Nico will be happy to collect 1, but maybe there's more to be said ahead. Now rolls. Poisons gone. 60 seconds for Nico. Bomb on that top site. Rush taking down Tessus in the full flashbang wars of earlier. And now Play steps into the line of fire. Nico, they called him the unpredictable, and I start to predict a 1v4.
Oh my god!
Again! Rush saves the day! My god, it could have been it. They could have ended right there.
Jeez, the safety net of Blame F on the flank to fall in that fashion. It felt like that round was done. As soon as I saw Blame on the radar coming around, tucking on through, Nico's avenues, they were shut on down, but he deals with that and makes this round competitive. I have to give credit here for Complexity still fighting. The fact that Poison pushing into Hut and taking the initiative to duel that early when they are against this situation. 1 round away right now from dropping on out. And Nico, you can see that. He was feeling it.
That would have been a career clutch.
Jeez, that was insane.
That would be one he watches in 2022 before his LAN final. That's a clip he'll come back to.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Money now.
I've got goosebumps. It didn't even happen, Lauren. Okay, we can all calm down now. So I talked about the 8. Well, now it's just 3. Complexity are on their way, folks, from doing the consecutive run to overtime.
Grit and determination get pulled in here. They've got a grip of the game. But I mean, it's fine margins. You saw it in that last round. 1 player can almost tear you apart in this sort of matchup. And we'll see how close it can get again. Tease this time. Gonna be taking a second to consider any moves from the C teams. Blame F last time got great deals of info with his push towards the outside area. This time posted up by Red and Nico on the other side.
Part of me is nervous about Nico's life there. It does look like he's gone back. Oh no, he's still sticking around outside. So is he conscious that Blame F has gone for something so cheeky? The outside smokes will mean nothing.
Caught off here.
So yeah, he's been completely caught off. Lovely choice from the Dane against his domestic rivals here. Going international and trying to prove its worth with a fantastic first blood.
They might have to pump the brakes after that smoke lands here. It looks like they want to use the outside smoke still, but they're starting to dissipate. So heads-up duels are important. Borup and Tess says they need to find some kills. That's the 2 AK-47s. Stown and Cadian, they have the Galils, and they're drawing attention towards top right now.
Oh man, suddenly this
He's not looking.
Doable, Config distracted, eliminated. Rush needs a multi-kill. He needs to find Cadian's head. It's not enough. 2 on 3.
Blame F.
He can't do anything. James going to win the round again. It's going to be 3 in total.
Okay.
And just 2 more chances for Heroic before we reset. We wipe the slate clean. They've got to clear their heads here. Timeouts 2 remaining for Heroic and 2 rounds to find the 1 elusive.
But he's pivotal,
16.
isn't he? Blame F is
That's 3 in
brilliant
the round,
at
right?
what he does.
Yeah. He finds a lot of space for them. He takes a lot of responsibility as an in-game leader. But this partial buy here, with 3,400 going into the final, Heroic is still threatening, Lauren. This is the Tech 9s. I know that you love them.
Hackers are out. I'm a big fan because it throws mayhem into the matter. It's things that are unpredictable. It's players flying straight down to a secret, catching a nade or 2, taking a bit of damage, sure. But they're still down there, all heard, all relayed. Blame F hears it all. Even gets a touch of damage towards Tessus, but look at Conflict's position, Alex. This could be devastating.
Yeah, for him, if Cadian's blowing off heads like that, my God. Didn't even need to counter-strafe. Down.
Oh God.
I'm starting to get nervous. There's only 3 CTs left. The Juggernaut could be beating its last few beats. Oboe, Poison into the lower site. Bombs there, wrapping around towards window room. Cadian already hit a spectacular shot. And now Oboe's in a very exposed position. It does look prime, though.
He can't be helped here, though.
So isolated. It's more than an island. He's on his own world, own planet, and Borup takes him down. It's down to Blame F and Poison. I cannot believe this is the round they might have just done it in.
And we start to chant, not like this, not like this. Poison and Blame F tend to agree. Molly forcing the fight. Borup will burn. If he doesn't fight, does damage, but that's the start. Blame down to 1 HP. If he could hit that AWP shot, we could be potentially manifesting the comeback, but this could be it. It looks like it might be. Blame, he's got no time, he's got no friends, he's got no health. It's 16-13, and Heroic are off to the semi-finals. Hard work and determination have converted a win against a titan of modern-day Counter-Strike. Complexity eliminated in the quarters. Jason Lake on the fan cams. A hard-fought battle, but the better team won.
A moment of darkness. I'm like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like
2-0, my goodness. They take Complexity down on their map pick of Nuke, and I have an analyst who's often a bit more of a furrowed brow, often with a finger to wag and something to complain about. I think Chad actually really enjoyed that, man.
He's happy.
Yeah, he was smiling, mouth agape, eyes wide. Heroic impressed you today, Chad, or am I putting words in your mouth?
No, they really did. That was fantastic stuff. They made that look so easy. They were ready for everything that Complexity was throwing at them. Like the fact that they were dealing with Blame F, who was always such a nuisance to top-tier teams. Yeah. They were able to neutralize him time and time again. And just before we get stuck into like the details of that game, we had Hunden say it was going to be Stound like owning, right? But it was a team effort. Like look at this. The top fragger was Nico with 43. This is over both maps. The bottom was Tessus with 34. Everybody here contributed on the side of Heroic. It was a team effort, and you saw everybody with moments. They worked like a well-oiled machine. I wish that Nico clutch came on through, though. That would have just been insane.
Yeah, I mean, we should run through some of those highlights at some point, because I'll tell you now, that was a really impressive game, because I know Complexity, and they showed us on Inferno that we did have Poison. He was around. Obo was still his blunt object killing machine. Blame was still the clutch master, finisher, everything Complexity needed, but Heroic were better. I mean, really, the way this game started, Chad, we do need to start there, right? Nuke was, and you called it a nightmare.
Yeah.
That first 5, I could stretch it to 7, was a bit of a pigsty.
Yeah, when you look at it and you look at the way those rounds went down, a 3-on-5 on the pistol round where the bomb was planted in Complexity's favor, and then they've gone hunting because they thought the CTs were saving. I thought they were saving, so, you know, I can't fault them for that. Then you go on, there's a crater from Rush as they're doing a topside split on the force buy. They drop that round. The next round, Blame F, TKing Obo on the back of the head as they take ramp. Sure, that one was probably here nor there, but things kept falling apart. And then the in-game leader, Blame, steps up. 2 massive clutches, a 1v2 and a 1v4. And you look at the stat lines when we end that game, well, guess what? Complexity had more clutches in that match. They even had more opening kills than Heroic in that game of Nuke, and they don't walk away with the victory.
They don't even walk away with a particularly convincing victory. If you scrap that 6-round slew at the end there, where they were trying to get over that final hurdle, that could have been a 16-7 if Nico's hitting his clutches. We do have the scores though, and you can see Obo was the top contributor for Complexity. And to recap where Complexity have been throughout ESL 1 Cologne, their journey stops here in the quarterfinals. Victories though, and big scalps are fixed to their belt, Lauren. Na'Vi and Mad Lions falling to Cole.
I mean, they showed up pretty well. I think they're a team that, again, I hate to say it, I don't think they particularly underperformed. I think Heroic overperformed. I think they came in so well prepared today. Yeah. I've not seen a team run rings around someone in that fashion in a while, honestly. Yeah. And it felt so targeted, so well prepped. So again, I think Complexity did okay. I think there were obviously moments, I mean, that first run, errors here and there. Sure, I mean, there's always something, but overall, I have to just credit Heroic for it and not really give much distaste to Complexity. As much as that's a very wishy-washy way to put it, I think it's just more credit to the other team for being so well prepared.
Yeah, and I've seen players with the same sentiment that were in the server. Config saying better team won today over on Twitter. Maybe we'll hear from one of the successes as well. Stound, we heard Hunden told us he was one to watch, and he does finish at the top of the scoreboard for that series. So that one works out. And we do have him here. Hello, Martin. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, I
All right, we are cooking with gas. Okay, cool. So first things first, dude. How was that game to play? We had so much fun watching it. I'm sure it was a bit more stressful in the server.
Yeah, it was a really good game to play. I mean, we really didn't expect them to leave out Inferno for us to pick, because like they have banned it, like it has been their perm ban like the last few months, so we didn't expect that. So we just played our own game on Inferno, and we know that they like to run a lot of set strats. So basically just played our own game on Inferno, and then that went pretty well.
It went fantastically, and I really enjoyed seeing the way Nuke was working for you as well. Could you just give us some insight into where that communication was coming from? Where was the voice in the team for that Nuke game? I want to understand how much Cadian and Hunden together were coordinating you guys.
I mean, we prepared a lot for Nuke. Hunden did a lot of good preparation for Nuke. Basically, like, once again, like they like to do a lot of set strats, so we just like keep smoking the door on A, and that worked pretty well. Blame F had like these 2 clutches like that broke our economy, so I think our CT could have been even better than it was. And for general on the CT side, Casper Cadian, he's like really good at like telling us what to expect and what we should do and stuff. So
it was good. Yeah. It was great to watch.
Was a big part of it, Stound, the fact that you were isolating Blame F in a lot of his T-side rotations? Was that like a lot of the homework that was done here? Because you guys were able to catch him out quite a lot on his T-side.
Yeah, generally on Nuke, like in most of the rounds, Blame is almost every round alone in outside, and we just know that. So I think we punished him for that, but he also did 2 amazing clutches. So I guess it goes both ways.
All right, well, you're riding this high right now. You guys look phenomenal just here. How far can you go, mate? Can you get to the final? Can you win it?
Yeah, I think we can go all the way. Definitely.
God damn,
We've
that's
been playing
exciting.
really good CS, so I think we can take it all.
Yeah, and you're right to be confident. You're saying the same things we are. You're playing great Counter-Strikes down, and whatever you're doing, don't change it. I don't want to ruin anything. I want to keep watching that, so go do whatever you have to with your squad.
Thank you
Cheers,
very
dude.
much.
Thank you very much. No, that's awesome. Wow. Okay, so a 2-0. We've got Heroic in the semi-finals, a confident Heroic at that, and clearly got the right support structure around them. Putting the pin in what Lauren was doing already, which was complexity.
Yeah.
Not too dissuaded by their result here. It is just a case of we've got a Heroic on the rise, complexity perhaps standing still.
Yeah, and look, Config's normally one of the star fraggers there, had a little bit of a rougher day today. You know, there's nothing, I'm with Lauren here, there's nothing that you can just put down to complexity, you know, really faltering on here. Heroic coming through, especially with that start to nuke. I can imagine the comms in TeamSpeak, like how everybody would have been laughing how those first 3 rounds pounded out with the calamity after calamity.
Every time we cut to their player cams, it felt like they were having a giggle. Actually, maybe
Clown
tell you what,
fiesta
here's a
time.
treat for you guys. Normally we only have one. I've got 2 for you.
lovely.
Hunden here for more info from the successful and victorious Heroic. Let's see if we can grab him. Hello,
back.
Hunden, you're back with us.
Hello.
We've stolen you again. So just a quick insight for the comms there. I saw every time we cut to you cams, it looked like your boys were having a laugh, giggling. Is that a team environment that you look to encourage, even in such intense games?
Yeah, Casper is making a lot of fun, so all of us is laughing all the time, and I think they did so many mistakes in the first 4 rounds. I think they killed each other, Russ did a suicide, I don't know. I had never seen so many crazy rounds in the beginning of the game, so that was pretty funny, and we were laughing all the time.
And then on the screen right now, we have round number 6. It was the eco round where Borup pushes into lobby with the P250, gets a double kill with the perfect lineup. You wouldn't have seen it. Teslas and Lower dropping a grenade in their pocket. It did like, I think, over 100 damage over 2 players, maybe even more. Everything was going your way here today, mate. But I want to put a lot of that down, obviously, to your preparation. Are you about to change the coaching game? Is that what's going to happen now that you've taken this seat?
I don't know. I just do my preparation, and it seems like I can find a lot of reads right now. I'm not sure if it's because of it's online CS or I don't know. It seems like sometimes it's easier to read people, but we are prepared, and we will be prepared for every single game we're going to play. That's for sure.
Oh, I like to hear that.
Don't know why, but the word preparation just seems better when it comes out of Hunden's mouth. Definitely not just smoke and mirrors. Fantastic stuff across the board. Any final questions for our boy Hunden here?
I just wanted to kind of get one for you. You're obviously, look, Alex pointed out before when we did the pregame interview, you and the Danish scene, you've helped a lot of these players in the server right here, grow to who they are today. Is that helping you as a coach because you know them inside and out and you can put them all in their positions where they suited best? They trust you?
Yeah, I think they trust me a lot and have so much respect for what I have done, especially what I did with Mad Lions, the trick lineup. So every time I say something, there's no questions. They don't doubt me at all. So it's pretty easy for me to be a coach for this team, also because they are so young. So they trust me if I say something, and that's different from what else I have tried as a player as well. You always doubt the coach because they don't have that much experience and stuff like that. But like I think it's pretty easy for me to be a coach here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And actually, just before we go, Hunden, we're about to get everyone at Twitch to click on their match MVP. Who would you be clicking on?
Ooh, I think this one will go. Yeah, but I think I will go with Cadian this time. His Inferno was so fucking crazy. I don't know. That was fucking crazy to watch.
And he got the ace as well, which I think he deserved after what he was contributing. I agree, Hunden. Thank you for your input, and we'll speak to you perhaps next time. There is a pre-game for the semi-finals. We'll be grabbing him for. Cheers. Thank you very much. So yeah, who do they play in that semi-final? It's G2 versus whom?
OG.
OG, that's right. So
I just want to double check that bracket.
Big intense one there. But I did tell you guys, by the way, do click. Let us know. It looks like you are casting your votes, and it looks like Hunden and actually it was Cadian. Looked like the vote had worked, but you guys are now realizing just how much damage.
Nico clutch coming in, or the almost Nico clutch, certainly going to be resonating with me for a moment or two there.
He did have some big impact rounds. That multi-kill round coming in from main, you know, where he's next to the vent between the smoke. That was a big one right there. So look, if you can give it to the whole team, if we could put Hunden's face on the screen, maybe we should have done that.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm glad we're all on agreement. I think that's all we have to do for now because we have got more Counter-Strike around the corner. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do not hold your breath. We have got more Counter-Strike just around the corner. When is that next game scheduled? 6:30?
Game goes live at 6:30. We'll be back on just after 6, I believe. So if they want to see our faces...
Great.
Here at 6:30.
Yeah. About 6:15, that's not too long. Not too get some grub, hit the gym, all of that fun stuff. Because when we come back, we're bringing you Sprout versus Vitality. And Lauren's first look at Zywoo.
Ooh, I'm excited.